boosting your productivity, and experience crystal clear communication with our state-of-the-art VoIP services. ITG is your one-stop solution for IT support, cutting-edge copiers, and unbeatable VoIP systems. Don't wait. Transform your business today. Visit itghelp.com now. That's itghelp.com. ITG, powering your success every step of the way.
So a day game by a final score of 5-4. So the best the Cubs can hope for today is to avoid a sweep heading into the home opener, which comes your way on Tuesday night at 7:05, when South Bend will face off with the Peoria Chiefs, the Midwest League affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals. 7:05 first pitch at Four Winds Field that night. We'll be on the air right here on WSBT Radio at 6:45 p.m. Tickets available at southbendcubs.com. To talk about how yesterday went, it has been a series really of missed opportunities for the South Bend Cubs after they went 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position on Friday. South Bend left runners at second and third last night in the top of the first inning. They got another shot against left-hander Brian Mendoza. Mendoza making his Miami Marlins organization debut after being traded over from the Texas Rangers to the Marlins. And after that initial inning, where the Cubs left two men in scoring position, Mendoza was able to settle in a little bit. He worked a 1-2-3 second and also a scoreless third inning. That's where Beloit grabbed the lead in the second. Two singles by Edie Cappe and Colby Shade got their rally going. And then one last base hit from catcher Connor Cascanet, the former Purdue Boilermaker, is what put up the Beloit Skycarp by a pair in the second inning. Cappe and Shade and Cascanet all with base hits. 2-0 Beloit at that point. The Skycarp would extend their lead to a 3-1 score. The Cubs got on the board in the top of the fourth. A leadoff walk from Carter Trice. Ivan Brenauer also took a free pass, and then Drew Bowser singled in Trice. For Bowser, his 2025 Midwest League debut featured a 2-for-5 day. However, Beloit would get some insurance runs back. Again, they took a 3-1 lead in the bottom of the fourth, and then a solo home run by Ryan Ignafo spread the lead to 4-1. This is where the South Bend Cubs bullpen really took over. Chase Watkins entered the game in the bottom of the sixth inning. Bases were loaded. Burl Caraway recorded the first two outs of that sixth inning. Caraway appearing in a game for the first time since 2022. He has missed 2 consecutive years due to injury. So Caraway walked the bases loaded, but he did record 2 outs. That's when Chase Watkins came in and got the Cubs out of that inning. Watkins then worked a 1-2-3 seventh and a 1-2-3 eighth. And it was the seventh inning where the Cubs ultimately tied the game. Williams kicks on the 3-1 after a look at second. A little looper sliced up the left field line. That's going to fall for a base hit. It takes a bad hop on the left field line, and Reggie Preciado is going to come home. The throw there is not going to be in time. It's going to be a double for Rayvaj Garcia. It just snuck into fair territory up the left field line, and Preciado was able to come home. And now this double, as Christian Hernandez barrels a ball off of the pitcher and into center field. Rounding third, coming home Garcia. It's a 1-run game. Christian Hernandez comes through with his third hit of the series. Hernandez pummeled that ball. It hit Williams right around his left or right ankle. And then it deflected into center field like a hockey puck off of a stick into the net. Now we'll lock in for a 2-2 offering. Hernandez is stealing third. Pitches inside. Wild pitch. Hernandez is going to come home. Here's the throw. Not in time. Hernandez scores. He stole third base, and then on a wild pitch, he took a turn around third and slid in head first at the plate. We are tied. Tie game at 4 heading to the 8th inning. Again, Christian Hernandez with 3 base hits yesterday. That tied a career high. Hernandez, one of 4 Midwest League players with 4 hits on the season. We went to extra innings, tied at 4. The Cubs had the bases loaded in the 9th inning, unable to score. They also had the go-ahead run at 3rd in the 10th. But it was Beloit and their bullpen that kept the Cubs at bay. In the bottom of the 10th inning, Ryan Ignafo, the courtesy runner for the Beloit Skycarp, scored on a Edie Cappe walk-off base knock. 5-4 was the final in 10 innings. But as we turn the page to today, the Cubs will look for their first win of the season, and they'll turn to right-hander Luis Rajano to try and do so Rujano will make his Midwest League debut, opposed by right-hander Jake Brooks for Beloit. We'll come back with the starting lineups right after this here on Sports Radio WSBT.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
I missed a mortgage payment, but now I'm turning things around. With Sam, I can.
Sam is Smart About Money, a free online resource from the National Endowment for Financial Education. We're an independent nonprofit foundation dedicated to helping people just like you get sound information about money at samican.org.
Business has fallen off at work, but I'm getting prepared for whatever the future holds. With Sam, I can.
Get empowered. Reach your financial goals. Visit samican.org.
South Bend Cubs baseball here on Sports Radio WSBT. I'm Brendan King from ABC Supply Stadium, where the Cubs and the Sky Carp are playing the series finale of this short 3-game set. Cubs will return home on Tuesday night to take on the Peoria Chiefs at 7:05 for the home opener. Time to bring you today's starting lineups. They're always brought to you by Industrial Door of Northern Indiana, your local service and installer of residential and commercial doors, operators, dock levelers, and more. Learn more at industrialdoorni.com. For the visiting South Bend Cubs, an 0-2 mark to begin the season. One of multiple Midwest League teams that have yet to win a game, so we'll see how many of those can pull off their first W of the season. Cubs are managed by Nick Lavello. Their order starts with second baseman Christian Hernandez, who has 4 base hits in 2 games to open the year. Andy Garriola will play in left field for the first time this season. Garriola hits second for the Cubs. Ariel Armas is South Bend's designated hitter. He'll bat third. Edgar Alvarez mans the hot corner at third base, hitting cleanup. Alvarez, the Cubs' only lefty in their order. First baseman Drew Bowser in the 5-hole. Rafael Morel, the do-it-all man, is at shortstop today. Morel hitting number 6. Ivan Bredauer will hit 7th this afternoon. Bredauer playing right field. Carter Trice in center. Trice hitting 8th. And rounding out the order, catching in his season debut, David Avitia. The South Bend Cubs starter, 21-year-old right-hander Luis Rujano. A Venezuelan native, Rujano, it is his Midwest League debut after spending both 2023 and 2024 with the low-A Myrtle Beach Pelicans. Those are the Cubs. These are the Sky Carp. 2-0 is their start to the season with their record. They are managed by Angel Espada, and the Sky Carp order starts for a 3rd consecutive day with shortstop Wilfredo Lara. Colby Shade in left field. Shade has moved up in the order on back-to-back days, 3 for 8 in 2 games. Ryan Ignatho will hit third and do the catching. Fenwick Trimble in right. The 5-hitter and the hero yesterday for Beloit, Yidi Cape. He's the DH. He had the walk-off base hit yesterday afternoon. Gage Miller at third base. Miller bats 6th. Jay Bashirs at second. The 8-hitter and the lone lefty in the Sky Carp order is first baseman Brock Vredenberg, and the number 9 batter in center, E. Marion Boyd. The Sky Carp starter, right-hander Jake Brooks. Brooks, this is going to be his 2nd Midwest League start after pitching in 1 game to conclude last season with Beloit. Brooks, a former 11th round pick of the Miami Marlins out of UCLA. The starting lineups are presented by Industrial Door of Northern Indiana. We'll take another time out here on the South Bend Cubs pregame show. When we come back, a check of the Midwest League scoreboard and a preview today of the Cubs and Padres at Wrigley Field on Sports Radio WSBT.
I expected it to be a lot easier.
I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I didn't know what step to take next.
I was transitioning from the military.
I was a vehicle gunner.
An avionics specialist.
I was an MP, military police.
My friends thought I could do anything.
I missed my unit, my family.
Playing with my daughter, I felt like a stranger.
I was overwhelmed.
I couldn't sleep.
I just wanted to be by myself.
I didn't have a clear sense of what to do next.
I was too proud. And then I thought, if I'm going through this, other veterans have gone through it too, right?
I started to open up.
And it made a huge difference.
So I reached out and I saw that I wasn't alone.
Because before I was able to take on my next mission, I had to take on just taking care of myself.
To find
Purpose.
Go to maketheconnection.net to learn how other veterans have overcome the challenges of transitioning out of the military.
Getting you set to go for the South Bend Cubs and the Beloit Sky Carp here this afternoon. In Wisconsin, it is bright and sunny. There is nothing but blue sky above the yard, and that is refreshing after a couple of cold days to begin the season. Now, by no means is it warm, but it's at least comfortable, hanging around right around 50 degrees, but the sunshine is making it feel warmer. And one difference from the last couple days, it's not overly windy. There's just a gentle breeze coming in from center. So you very well could see some more home runs today. You did see one yesterday, Ryan Ignolfo. He has the only bomb of the series. But today, with the sun out and wind really not gusting, you could see some power. We'll just have to see if any get out today. Time to introduce tonight's umpiring crew. They are brought to you by Indiana LASIK Centers. You can schedule your consultation by visiting IndianaLASIKCenters.com. Life is easier with LASIK. Calling the balls and strikes today is Jared Neal, and the base umpire is Austin Machak. Also, the injury report is presented by South Bend Orthopedics. South Bend Orthopedics will get you back in the game, whether that means sports, work, or everyday life. See how they can help you at sbortho.com, a tradition of excellence since 1947. And still, good to report, there is nobody on the South Bend Cubs injured list. Everybody's healthy, as the Cubs are carrying 29 players at the moment. You're eligible to carry 30. So I would imagine the Cubs would get up to 30 next week during the first home series. But for now, 29 players eligible on this roster here today. Time to check the out-of-town scoreboard. That is presented by South Bend International Airport. You got to feel for the Iowa Cubs in Indianapolis here this week. A couple of days ago on Friday night, the Cubs and the Indianapolis Indians were going to extra innings. It was 3-3, moving to the 10th inning. And the game was suspended due to rain, and the Iowa Cubs have had some serious unluckiness due to rain in the early part of this season. Well, they were supposed to finish that 3-3 game, the completion of the suspended game yesterday. Well, they got rained out again yesterday. So coming back to Victory Field today, they just wrapped up the suspended game from Friday. Unfortunately, from an Iowa Cubs perspective, Indianapolis walked them off 5-4, and now they're playing the regularly scheduled game for today. In the top of the third, Iowa and Indianapolis are even at 1. But, of course, they postponed yesterday's normally scheduled game, and they'll have to make that up the next time the Indians meet the I-Cubs. That is a whole mess in itself, dealing with rain in central Indiana. Elsewhere in the Cubs organization today, the Knoxville Smokies will face off with the Birmingham Barons at 5 p.m. And at 5:05, it's the Low A Myrtle Beach Pelicans against the Charleston River Dogs. The Pelicans are out to a 2-0 start on the season. They have beaten Charleston on consecutive nights. For the Chicago Cubs, starting in 20 minutes, the Cubs will play the Padres in the series finale at Wrigley Field. The Cubs have beaten the Padres back-to-back days, 3-1 and 7-1. And those games, the Cubs handed the Padres their first losses of the season. San Diego came into this weekend series at 7-0, and the Cubs have beat them on back-to-back days. And now Chicago looks for a sweep. Cubs are 7-4 with their record. Ben Brown pitches for Chicago, opposed by left-hander Kyle Hart. And again, that game starts 19 minutes from now at Wrigley Field. Taking a look at the Midwest League, we have mentioned there are multiple teams in the circuit that have started 0-2. Those teams are the Lansing Lugnuts, Dayton Dragons, Peoria Chiefs, Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, and South Bend Cubs. So there have been a lot of opportunities today, and there will be a lot of opportunities today for sweeps. Fort Wayne's going for a sweep over Lansing. West Michigan's trying for a sweep over Dayton. The aforementioned Sky Carp over the Cubs. Peoria might get swept by Quad Cities. Cedar Rapids can sweep Wisconsin. So this opening weekend series has been a tad unusual for sure. The only game in the circuit that started with both teams being 1-1 today, Lake County and Great Lakes. It's the Captains 3 and the Loons 1 in the top of the fourth inning. Lansing trying to avoid a sweep, but they are on top of Fort Wayne 4-0 in the third. Dayton and West Michigan will start at the same time as us in the next few minutes. So will Cedar Rapids and Wisconsin. And the late afternoon game, it will be at 3:05 with Quad Cities facing off with Peoria. And again, we will see the Chiefs starting on Tuesday night at Four Winds Field. It's the home opener at 7:05. You can grab your tickets, southbendcubs.com. It will be great to see you in the ballpark, and looking forward to being back with South Bend Cubs baseball in downtown South Bend. For now, the first pitch is coming up next between the Cubs and the Sky Carp. It's the finale from Beloit right after this on Sports Radio WSBT.
It is time for
Steve Covino. Yeah. Rich Davis. Perfect. This is Covino and Rich.
The homer part of me is like, they're going to be just fine. But I feel like everyone else has sold it to 49ers on some like troublesome rebuild. But Vegas odds still have them as one of the bigger teams in the NFC. You know, 1 minute everyone's saying how John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, no one's better. And now it's like, what have they done to this team?
Covino and Rich. Weeknights at 7. Sports Radio WSBT.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members, of their families or their children, asking them to deploy, patrol, stay on watch, on point, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to bring them all the way home, to keep them secure, to have their backs for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs do whatever it takes to help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Find out how you can help at findwwp.org.
Hey, we missed you at the game last week. Is everything all right?
I just haven't been feeling like me lately.
You know I'm here for you, right?
That's a cut. Beautiful. Acting is one thing. Talking about suicide in real life is another.
In the military, you take challenges head on.
And now it's your turn to do the same for our veterans.
Be there.
Learn how you can start the conversation at BeThereForVeterans.com.
This is South Bend Cubs baseball.
Driven in the air towards deep left field. Back it goes to the wall. It's Johnson there. Cubs win. This is hammered towards right center. Long run PCA. He will make the catch. Ramirez drives this one to deep right. Back towards the wall it goes. It is gone. Line drive up the right field line. It's a base hit. Skipping into the corner. Matt Shaw picks up right where he left off. PCA can fly. Let's see if he'll try for 3. There he goes. Relay throw. Not in time.
Follow us all season long. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X. Find our social links at southbendcubs.com. South Bend Cubs baseball on Sports Radio WSBT is brought to you by Toyota, United Federal Credit Union, Pepsi, Budweiser, Pella Windows and Doors of Northern Indiana, WSBT 22, Sterling Healthcare, Indiana LASIK Centers, Industrial Door of Northern Indiana, Carpenters, Local 413, South Bend Orthopedics, the Hoosier Lottery, Pegs, South Bend, and South Bend International Airport. Also brought to you by the following.
Fiber New of Michiana, experts in leather, plastic, and vinyl restoration. FIBRENEW.com. And Wakarusa Ag Services, online at wakarusaag.com.
With the call of today's game, here's the voice of the South Bend Cubs, Brendan King.
South Bend Cubs baseball is on the air from ABC Supply Stadium in Beloit, Wisconsin. We welcome you on Sports Radio WSBT for the finale between the Cubs and the Sky Carp. Right-hander Jake Brooks ready to throw the first pitch of the game, and it's on the way to Christian Hernandez, and it's fouled off to the right for strike one. Cubs and the Sky Carp. South Bend has dropped back-to-back games to open the season at the hands of Beloit. Sky Carp are 2-0, South Bend 0-2. But they can win the finale and head into the home opener on Tuesday with a little bit of juice. Hernandez pokes it up the first base line. This is slicing and going foul right on the chalk. It was picked up by Beloit first baseman Brock Vredenberg just to the right of the line. Christian Hernandez, a great start to the season for him. He's 4 for 9 in 2 games. One of just 4 players in the Midwest League that have 4 base hits so far on the weekend entering today. Right-hander Jake Brooks, a big, tall righty from UCLA, former 11th round pick of the Marlins. And here's the pitch to Hernandez. Christian will take a breaking ball outside. Just off the outside black, said the home plate umpire Jared Neal. Austin Machak is working the bases, and the umpiring crew brought to you by Indiana LASIK Centers. It's 1-2 on Christian Hernandez. Brooks into his motion, and he paints a fastball on the outer half for called strike 3. Brooks punches out the first man he faces on the season. This, of course, the first appearance of the campaign for Jake Brooks, who did get a little taste of Midwest League baseball. At the end of last year, Brooks started 1 game with Beloit after a successful run with Low A Jupiter. So that's how today's ball game gets started. Hernandez called out on strikes, and Andy Garriola takes inside on the initial offering to him. Garriola appeared in his first game of the season yesterday, went 0 for 5. But it is good to have him back in the order. A lot of power from the right side. The 1-0, swing and a miss. Sharp cutter from Jake Brooks. Brooks, that one Midwest League start was on September 6th of last year. He went 5 innings of scoreless ball, 2 hits allowed, no walks, 6 strikeouts in his first high A game. From the windup, the 1-1 is delivered, and it's fouled back. 1-2. 50 degrees, your game time temperature. Now, that sounds a little chilly. However, compared to the last 2 days when it was windy and really cold, this is definitely welcome because the sun is out. There's blue sky all over. This definitely brings a sign of spring. And the 1-2 to Garriola is a slider taken inward, ball 2. Bases clear, just underway, top of the first inning. Cubs and the Sky Carp, no score. Brooks working with his battery mate, Ryan Ignolfo. They agree, and Brooks deals and blows a fastball past Garriola, strike 3. Garriola goes down swinging, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Brooks to open the ballgame. Good start for Jake Brooks. Impressive right-hander. Again, he put up big numbers with Low A Jupiter in his first pro season. After being drafted out of UCLA, Brooks, in 22 games last year at Low A, had an ERA at 2.2. And now he deals to Ariel Armas, another right-handed batter. Ari will take a slider low and away. There is just one lefty in the Cubs order and also the Sky Carp order today. Not many left-handed bats available on either roster. And the only Cubs lefty is on deck in Edgar Alvarez. The pitch. A slow roller smacked towards third to a charging Gage Miller. He'll scoop it up. Long throw is a good throw, and that's going to beat Armas 5-3 to end the inning. The Cubs go 1-2-3 in their half of the first. The Cubs don't score, and the Sky Carp are coming up next against right-hander Luis Rujano in his Midwest League debut on Sports Radio WSBT.
Credit Union, we'd like to be the first to say welcome home with a mortgage loan made just for you. Whether you're looking for a construction or lot loan for your future dream home or a mortgage for a home you can move into right away, our expert advisors will help you find the way to your new front door. Get started today with our easy online application at unitedfcu.com/mortgage. United Federal Credit Union. We get you. Insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 471962.
Would you like to have a lasting, life-changing impact on your family and the world? Host a foreign exchange student through ICES.
It was great. It was enriching and fun and rewarding. So we did it again and again and again. We've hosted 6 now.
Families simply provide room and board. The students cover their personal expenses.
I am so glad we did it.
Call ICES for more information at 1-800-344-3566 or visit ICESUSA.org.
Water is all around us. No wonder it's hard to imagine we're facing a water crisis. But we are. So that's why the American Planning Association brings you simple ways to save water at home and in your community. Learn more at planning.org. That's planning.org. A public service message from this station and the American Planning Association.
We're getting ready to watch the Midwest League debut for Cubs right-hander Luis Rojano, who spent the last couple seasons at Low A Myrtle Beach. He has now reached South Bend, and his first pitch in the Midwest League is a called strike on Wilfredo Lara. Lara, Shade, and Ignatho, the top 3 for Beloit. Again, the Sky Carp have beaten the Cubs on back-to-back days to open the season. Here's a little looper hit over the stretching third baseman's mitt on a line drive and skipping up the left field line. It'll be corralled in the corner by left fielder Garriola, and he'll throw in the relay. It was a jumping effort by Edgar Alvarez, and the big 6'4" third baseman just could not bring it down. It'll be a leadoff double for Wilfredo Lara. Tough break for Luis Rojano. Not an overly hard hit line drive, but just enough to sneak it over the glove of Alvarez, who is playing at the hot corner for the first time this year. And the Sky Carp with an immediate base runner here to open things in the bottom of the first inning. There is no score. South Bend went 1-2-3 in their half of the first. And the batter is Colby Shade. Both lineups packed with righties, as we mentioned last half inning. Shade will look at a strike. The only lefty in the Sky Carp order is Brock Vredenberg, and he's in the 8th spot. Luis Rojano always works from the stretch, off the first base side of the rubber. He'll check second and deal. And Shade rips it back to the screen. Colby Shade, 3 for 8 in his first 2 games of the season. He has scored 3 runs. He has driven in a pair. Good start to the season for Shade, who hit .260 last year and just over 100 games with Jupiter and Beloit combined. No balls, 2 strikes. The next offering is a high fastball, a little 2 upwards around the shoulders, 1-2. Bright sunshine covering all of ABC Supply Stadium and blue skies above the yard. It is a pretty Sunday. A little chilly, but really no wind to speak of. And the 1-2 is driven out towards shallow center. That's going to drop for a base hit in front of Carter Trice. Station to station for Wilfredo Lara. He'll stop at third. And it's back-to-back knocks for the Sky Carp to open things in the bottom of the first. And immediately, Luis Rojano is going to have to work out of a jam. The Sky Carp will have runners at the corners, and here in the bottom of the first, the Cubs are in a spot right now where they will gladly exchange a run for a double play, but they've got to face Ryan Ignatho. Ignatho hammered his first homer of the season yesterday and is 2 for 9 in a couple games. Ignatho, the bulky righty, with the runner moving, chops the ball right side through the hole. The runner was moving. The second baseman was not in his normal spot. Now rounding third and coming home is Shade. The throw home, not in time. David Avitia tried to slap the tag on the sliding runner, Colby Shade, and Shade got under that tag. Great piece of hitting by Ryan Ignafo. It was a hit and run. Ignafo simply hit the baseball to the right side of the infield. The second baseman, Christian Hernandez, was covering the bag, and there was nothing the Cubs can do. Ignafo perfectly placed that ground ball, and it's a 2-0 Beloit lead in the first. It's the third consecutive game the Cubs have fallen behind early. And Luis Rajano now works to Fenwick Trimble. First pitch lone outside. 3 consecutive base hits to open the bottom of the first inning. A double by Lara, a single by Shade, and now a single by Ignafo. He did take second base on the throw, so he leads up the middle. And the pitch from Rajano is a fastball bolted in for a strike. 2-0 game as Beloit leads. Skycarp yesterday scored 2 in the second. Back on Friday, they came up with 1 run in the second inning, and they have led first each game. The next delivery is a fastball up and in, 2-1. 2 runs on 3 hits, super quick. Ignafo leads at second. Christian Hernandez close to the bag up the middle. Ignafo stealing third. The pitch is low and outside in the dirt, and Ignafo swipes the base. Ignafo, for a well-built guy, he's 5'9", 220 pounds. He loves to run, and he's a catcher. Last year, Ryan Ignafo stole 21 bases, and he is not really physically a candidate to do so, but he loves to run. And Rajano blows a fastball past the swinging Fenwick Trimble. That's strike 2. It's 3-2. The Cubs infield will come in. And the Skycarp with another runner 90 feet away. 2-0 game. Cubs trail. And here's Rajano's deal. Way high on a fastball. That's going to be ball 4. Rajano has yet to record an out. And the first 4 Skycarp have all reached. That will bring about a mound visit for pitching coach George Sthenopoulos. And Beloit in striking range early. They have an opportunity to really separate this game right away with Edie Cappe coming up. Edie Cappe, the designated hitter for Beloit, ended yesterday's game in extras. It was in the bottom of the 10th. Cappe snacked a single up the left field line. It went into the corner. There was no shot for the Cubs to get Ryan Ignafo, who scored the game-winning run. It was a walk-off base hit for Edie Cappe. And Cappe, once again, has the opportunity to deliver some damage. It's 2-0 here in the first. Beloit leads. So Ignafo's at third. He stole that bag. Trimble just walked, and here comes Cappe. Again, with nobody out, runners at the corners, the Cubs are in a position where they will exchange 2 outs for a run. But there goes the runner from first. Pitches low and outside. Avitia's throw to second is bounced in and not in time. Fenwick Trimble steals the base. And Beloit continues to rev up the stolen base numbers on opening weekend. The Skycarp stole 7 bags as a team yesterday. And on the season, they already have 12 in 3 games. Infield again comes in. Cappe taps it foul to the left. Cubs are behind 2-0. And South Bend trying to avoid a sweep. Corner infielders are in. Middle infielders playing a little bit further back as Rajano gives a fastball to Cappe. It's a called strike at the belt. 1-2. First base now open with runners at second and third. And again, time called, this time by Cubs catcher David Avitia. It's the battery of Rajano and Avitia. We'll go over the full Cubs defense here shortly. As both runners lead at second and third. And the 1-2 is a big bouncing ball hit to third. Edgar Alvarez gloves it, slaps a tag on Ryan Ignafo at third base. That was not in time. And then Alvarez clicked his feet together and fired a throw cross field to first. to retire Cape, 5-3. Alvarez nearly turned a double play. Again, he gloved it backhand style about 5 feet away from the foul line. He then took it to the third base bag to try and tag Ignacio. He was back to third safely. And then Alvarez threw out Cape at first. Now Gage Miller, another righty, takes outside. That's the first out of the inning for Rajano. But unfortunately for him, with runners at second and third, no chance at a normal style double play. Gage Miller waits. Rajano delivers. A strike call. And Luis Rajano really having to work here. This is going to be pitch number 20 coming up for the right-hander in his first high A ball game. From the stretch, he gets a sign from Avitia, and he'll kick and deliver. Swing and a miss. Sharp slider away. Miller went after it. Gage Miller played back on opening day on Friday night, went 0 for 3 with a run scored. 2-0 game, Beloit in front. The Sky Carp had 3 consecutive hits to begin this inning, followed by a walk to Fenwick Trimble. Edie Cape just grounded out to third for the first out of the frame. And the 1-2. Rip back to the screen. We'll do it again. One and one here on Gage Miller. Infield in, and the pitch. Another ball line back to the wiring of the screen. 1-2. Rajano trying to battle out of this. And I'll tell you what, if the Cubs can get out of this thing, down just 2 runs, they'll be grateful to do so, because Beloit put their first 4 men on base with nobody out. The 1-2 now. Just missed the bottom of the zone. Looked good. But beneath the knees is what home plate umpire Jared Neal said. Wind very calm in center. The American flag not really moving anymore. It was breezing in to begin the game. And the 2-2. This just missed the outside corner. Another good-looking breaking ball. Rajano just did not get the call. It's now gone full on Gage Miller. Runners will not be moving with this pitch. Second and third, one away. And Miller fouls one off of the catcher, David Avitia. It deflected off of his blue mask. He's okay, but Jared Neal, the home plate ump, will go deliver a baseball to Rajano to give David Avitia a little bit of time to recover. 2-0 Beloit here in the first inning. Sky Carp up a pair with 2 runners in scoring position. Another payoff, and Rajano walks Miller. Miller takes the base on balls. Second walk of the inning. The lone out that Rajano has recorded was a 5-3 ground out, Edie Cape. But now the bases are loaded. A double play could end the inning, and there's a force anywhere. 2-0 game, Beloit leads South Bend. Batter is Jay Bashirs, and Bashirs will take outside. Jay Bashirs, we have not seen him since opening day, where he went 0 for 3 on Friday night. That was with a walk and 2 strikeouts. Bags full of Sky Carp and those teal bright jerseys. All runners lead, and the pitch. And on the hands, Bashirs watched it go by for ball 2. And now there is nowhere to put Jay Bashirs with the bags full. South Bend's bullpen also up and working already, with Rajano creeping towards that 30 pitch mark in the first inning. The 2-0. Missed the outside corner, ball 3. And now there is nowhere to put Jay Bashirs for sure on a 3-0 count. You're out of wiggle room. One more ball and a run would be walked in. The kick in the 3-0. It's good for a strike. Top of the zone, maybe caught the inside corner. By the way, that was pitch number 30 for Rajano, so you might be in an area where this may be his last batter no matter what. We'll see. Bases loaded, 3-1. Here it comes. Just missed. And a run is walked in. Bashirs takes ball 4. It's the third walk of the inning, and that may be it for Rajano. And it will be. Nick Lavella out of the Cubs dugout. By the way, Ryan Ignafo scored. So it's 3-0 Sky Carp. Bashirs takes first. Miller's up to second. Trimble now up to third. But the Cubs early in this first inning are going to have to go to their bullpen. It's 3-0 Sky Carp. It's been a weird first inning. Beloit picked up 3 base hits to begin the game. To begin the inning, I should say. Trimble then walked. The ground out by Cape. And then back-to-back walks to Miller and Bashirs. Tough start for South Bend, but it's only the first inning. It's 3-0. More importantly, though, South Bend needs to get out of this frame somehow, some way. We'll take a break for the pitching change. When we come back, Brock Vredenberg will face left-hander Angel Hernandez, who comes into the game next on Sports Radio WSBT.
Okay, team, we got to try something new, something big, something like the new Mega Millions. With automatic multipliers on every play. Non-jackpot prizes start at $10 and go up to 10 million.
Coach, what about the game?
This is the game. Now get out there and try for a win!
Every play is automatically more mega with the new Mega Millions from the Hoosier Lottery. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Maggie and Perloff on the Infinity Sports Network.
It's not the BCS era. That's going to feel like caveman times as far as computers are concerned to what we have now. Get rid of selection committees. Get rid of them in basketball. Get rid of them in football. They've outlived their usefulness.
I think if computers had chosen this field, North Carolina was over West Virginia, there would be an outcry to get rid of the computer system. And I think you'd have some really weird teams get in there that people would be like, what the heck is going on?
Mornings 6 to 9. Sports Radio WSBT. WSBT South Bend. WQIQ and W291DK. St. Joseph. Sports Radio WSBT.
Well, plenty of work to do for the South Bend Cubs here in the first inning if they just want to get out of it somewhat unscathed. It's 3-0 Beloit here in the first with just one away and already a call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Carpenters Local 413. Much has changed over 120 years, but growth still rests on opening doors to all working carpenters. For more information, visit carpenterslocal413.com. Left-hander Angel Hernandez will come in. And from a Cubs perspective, again, the pitching change, not necessarily because Luis Rajano struggled. Of course, that had something to do with the decision to pull him, but he threw 31 pitches in this inning, 31 pitches to get just one out. So, Angel Hernandez enters against the lefty Brock Vredenberg. Beloit has the bases loaded, up 3-0. And Angel Hernandez is ready to work. His first pitch to Vredenberg is a called strike. We saw Angel earlier in the series. That was on Friday night, where he came in the 8th inning that evening. That's the same inning where Beloit scored 5 runs, their biggest rally of the series so far. Here's a swing and a miss, an awkward-looking sword-type swing by Vredenberg at a breaking ball that scraped the dust in front of the plate, and it's 0-2. The Cubs just need Angel Hernandez to throw strikes with the bases loaded. Again, there's nowhere to put Vredenberg, and it's already 3-0. Here's the pitch. Fouled away on another breaking ball. This is a left-on-left matchup, and you will not get many of these today with both teams only having one lefty in their order. One and two on Brock Vredenberg. 0 for 2 in 2 games so far this year. And he'll swing and miss. Strike 3. Big Bender got him. There's a much-needed strikeout for the Cubs. And it's the second out of the first inning. The bases are still loaded for Beloit. And again, if the Cubs are able to get out of this with this score, I think they're fortunate, considering the fact the starter was pulled after a third of an inning. Let's see if Hernandez can go get a Marion Boyd. Boyd will foul one up the first base line for strike 1. It's Bashirs at first, Miller at second. Leading at third is Trimble. All of those men on base via base on balls. Beloit picked up 3 base hits all in a row to begin the frame. Boyd lays off a fastball and takes it for a strike. Top of the zone, outside corner. It's 0-2. Can Hernandez get the Cubs out of this inning? Down 3. South Bend went 1-2-3 in their half of the first. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 coming up next. And a balk has been called on Angel Hernandez. A balk has been called. I think they said Hernandez never came set. And it's 4-0 on the balk. That is a tough pill to swallow. Trimble will score. Miller goes to third. Bashir's up to second. And it's 0-2 on Boyd. Now Hernandez sets again and strikes out Boyd on a breaking ball low in the dirt. Tag slap by Avitia. And that's strike 3. 4 runs score for Beloit, the 4th on a balk call. But Hernandez does strike out both Brandenburg and Boyd to end the inning. We're going to go to the second. Damage is certainly done, but a lot of time to come back for the Cubs. It's 4-0 after an inning on Sports Radio WSBT.
This summer, we're going from minor league baseball to major fun. Whether you're just stopping by or looking for that Grand Slam getaway, Wyndham rewards everyone. Start earning points on your next qualified by Wyndham hotel stay and redeem them for minor league baseball tickets and experiences all summer long. Not a Wyndham Rewards member? Join for free at WyndhamRewards.com. Restrictions apply. Visit WyndhamRewards.com for more details.
When someone hears the words, "You have cancer," it's one of the darkest moments in their life. Light the Night brings light to the darkness of cancer by uniting survivors, patients, and supporters in the cause to end cancer. Friends, families, and coworkers form a community of hope, raising funds in support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Together, we walk with lanterns held high to light the path to cures. Last year alone, the FDA approved 18 new drug therapies and treatments to treat blood cancers. The impact of LLS-supported research goes beyond blood cancer. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. When we walk, cancer runs. Join the movement to end cancer today. Visit us at lightthenight.org.
Well, work to do and serious work at that. The Cubs are behind 4-0. Base hits in the bottom of the first for Beloit's Wilfredo Lara, Colby Shade, and Ryan Ignoffo. There were 3 walks as well and a balk call, all producing the 4 runs. Edgar Alvarez takes a ball inside, ball 1. Alvarez, the only Cubs lefty in the South Bend order today. So it's Alvarez, Bowser, and Morrell. 2 up here against right-hander Jake Brooks, who sent the Cubs down 1-2-3 in the first. Alvarez swings and misses. The Cubs trying to avoid an opening weekend sweep here at the hands of the Sky Carp, and there are other sweeps on the line in the Midwest League today as well. Here's the 1-1. Alvarez pokes it foul to the right. And we'll keep you posted on South Bend International Airport's out-of-town scoreboard as we go. But all teams that are at risk of being swept, except South Bend, currently hold leads. 1-2, time called at the dish. Lansing leading Fort Wayne 4-0 in the 6th. The Lugnuts had lost back-to-back games to open the campaign. Dayton on top of West Michigan 1-0. Same can be said for the Dragons. That game in the top of the 3rd. And here's the 1-2 pitch to Alvarez. Fouled away. High-scoring first inning between Wisconsin and Cedar Rapids. It's 3-2 as the Timber Rattlers were beaten on back-to-back days to start the season. And starting at 3:05, Quad Cities and Peoria. The Chiefs are 0-2, and we will see Peoria starting on Tuesday. Next pitch to Alvarez drops low and away. 2-2 on Edgar, who on opening day went 0 for 4. Back in the lineup today on Sunday. Off day tomorrow for the Cubs. And here comes the 2-2 Up and inside. He had to move the arms away from an inside fastball. 3-2 on Alvarez. Cubs would love to get the leadoff man on after getting a 4-spot dropped on him in the first. And here comes the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Slider low and inside. That is a tough pitch to hit for a lefty, and it was perfectly executed by right-hander Jake Brooks. He has punched out 3 of the first 4 Cubs that have come up. Now it's Drew Bowser, but a good day yesterday in the 5-4 extra innings Cubs loss. Bowser fouls it into the mid of the catcher Ignacio for strike 1. Bowser went 2 for 5 with an RBI in his first action as a South Bend Cub in his young career. Righty to righty, the 0-1 is flared up the right field line, slicing foul and going over the sidewall. 0-2 on Drew Bowser. Beloit 4, South Bend nothing here in the top of the second inning. The Cubs have been sent down in order to this point. The Sky Carp hit everybody all the way around the starting 9 and the bottom of the first. And the 0-2 nearly clipped Bowser on the left elbow. It's 1-2. Right-hander Jake Brooks, big, tall, out of UCLA. Brooks originally from Newport Beach, California, as Bowser pops it up out of play to the right side. This is an all-California collegiate matchup. UCLA on the mound, Stanford at the plate. Rafael Morel on deck with 1 away and the bases clear in the top of the second. 1-2 as Brooks is into his motion. And the pitch is cued foul behind the dish. Actually, he didn't get a piece of that. So the catcher, Ignacio, has to throw to first on the drop third strikeout. Bowser running to first, and he's going to be safe. I could have sworn I heard Bowser get a piece of that on a foul tip. I suppose not. And then it went behind the catcher, Ignacio, all the way to the wall behind home plate. Ignacio chased it, did throw to first, but it did not beat Bowser. Well, there's the Cubs' first base runner. It comes on a drop third strike. Still, Brooks will get credit for the strikeout as a ground ball is smacked to short. This will go 5-4 and not in time for 3 on the double play. So give this 5-4 on the fielder's choice. Morel is going to be safe at first. Drew Bowser lead force out at second. So again, still give Brooks credit for the strikeout. So he has punched out 4 of the first 6 that have come up. Morel is safe at first on the fielder's choice. And the batter is Ivan Brettauer. Brettauer in 2 games, 0 for his first 8. He has also walked once in that time as the big man will take outside. Brettauer, the biggest hitter on this team at 6'6", 250 pounds. Towers over that plate. Bounces the bat on his right shoulder with a wide open stance, elbows pointing out. And he gets a piece of this one, but fouls it away. So again, just to clarify, Drew Bowser reached first on the drop third strike. I thought he fouled it. Home plate umpire Jared Neal determined he did not. And then he was safe at first, and then the victim of that fielder's choice on the next play. Morel now leading at first. He faked a steal to second. Here's a ball inside on Brettauer, and then a pickoff throw from the catcher Ignacio to first. Back diving in is Morel. Beloit leads it 4-0 here in the top of the second inning. A 4 spot for the Sky Carp in their first trip to the plate. And time will be called. Ignacio goes to the mound to chat with Jake Brooks. Brooks also had a terrific college career at UCLA. He was the Bruins' opening day starter in both 2022 and 2023. Morrell leads at first, hanging his arms. He's got red batting gloves still both on hands in this chilly weather. Ivan Brennauer smacks a base hit to right field through the hole between first and second. Morrell is rounding second and going to third. It's a base hit for Ivan Brennauer, and his first in the Midwest League. And it went the opposite way for the big guy. Love to see that. It's a 2-out single. The Cubs are going to have runners at first and third with 2 down for Carter Trice. So let's see if they can start to mount a comeback in a 4-0 game. Beloit leads it by a 4 spot. Brennauer's first hit in the Midwest League, and now Carter Trice, right-handed batter with that circular batting stance motion. Trice will take a strike. Carter always holds his bat in front of his chest and then circles it around in counterclockwise movements. First and third for the Cubs, 2 down. The 0-1 to Carter Trice. Nearly hit him inside. 1-1. David Avitia on deck. It's a ball and a strike on Trice. There goes Brennauer for second, and Trice pulls this one foul up the left field line. Again, Brennauer took off with that last pitch. Kind of like a defensive lineman on the base pass is what he looks like at 6'6", 260. He leads again. Morrell in foul ground at third. 2 strikes on Trice, and Brooks is ready to work back to Carter Trice. Here he comes. Trice will take it outside for a ball. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Trice trying to come through and get the Cubs on the board. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Trice goes down swinging on a sharp slider, low and away. The Cubs leave 2 men on base. And going to the bottom of the second, it remains a 4-0 game with Beloit on top here on Sports Radio WSBT.
Dear Truckin' Awesome, does Toyota Tundra have heart-pounding horsepower? Truck yeah. Is Tacoma styled for the wild and as rugged as it comes? Truck yeah. And the 4Runner, tough as nails, ready for any trail? Truck yeah it is. Find your Toyota truck at Toyota.com. Put adventure in gear and floor it. Toyota, let's go places.
Let's talk about America. Not taxes or tweets or the issues that divide us, but how incredible our country is. Left, right, up, down, state lines to winding coastlines. Whether you come home to a crowded city street, tree-lined suburb, or sleepy small town, everyone deserves to live in a clean, green, and thriving community. And we all share in the responsibility to create beauty that ripples from one neighborhood to another and one block to the next. We are Keep America Beautiful, the nonprofit working with millions of people just like you to end littering, improve recycling, and beautify our communities. Because every mindful action and sustainable habit has a positive impact, and it all adds up. Learn how you can join Keep America Beautiful at KAB.org. Together, we can do beautiful things.
South Bend in search of their first win of the season, but the Beloit Skycarp, who have always held a lead in this series, are currently up 4-0. The Cubs have never led this weekend in this series. It has been all Skycarp nearly all the time. Cubs fell in extras yesterday 5-4, were shut out on opening day 7-0, but time to come back. However, you got to keep this game right where it is, and it's left-hander Angel Hernandez starting his first fresh inning. He'll miss with a changeup low. It's a 2-0 start on the leadoff man, Wilfredo Lara. And for Beloit, Lara up again here in the second. The Sky Carp hit around in the first inning. Swing and a miss on the next offering. Two and one on Wilfredo Lara. And the pitch. Low in the dust, ball 3. Hernandez came on with 1 out in the first. Luis Rojano got the start. Rojano in his Midwest League debut allowed 3 hits to begin the inning. He then walked a couple. Swing and a miss by Lara on the 3-1. It's 3-2. 3 runs were in on Rojano, and then Angel Hernandez on a balk call. That's how the 4th run came in. The payoff pitch is called strike 3 at the knees. Fastball got him. Angel Hernandez has faced 3 Sky Carp hitters. He has struck them all out. Bradenberg, Boyd, and Lara have all gone down against the left-hander Angel Hernandez. And that's good to see because, again, we mentioned this on Friday. Hernandez split last year between South Bend and Myrtle Beach. He had 2 stints with the South Bend Cubs, 1 on the opening day roster, 1 to end the season. Here's a foul ball back behind the dish, hit by a new man at the plate. This is Colby Shade's spot, but Colby Shade is not hitting. This is Eric Radizak, who played yesterday's game. Radizak, a left-handed batter, went 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk and 3 strikeouts. And he'll watch this one go by for a strike. It's 0-2. So Colby Shade, for whatever reason, is out of the game. So we'll have a defensive change coming for Beloit, too. The 0-2 is dribbled foul back behind the dish. So with Radizak entering now, there are now 2 lefties in the Beloit order, Radizak and Vredenberg. Hernandez, the southpaw, comes set on the 0-2. And this is scooped in the air to shallow center. Carter Trice with the beat on it. With his sunglasses on, will make the one-hand grab. That's going to be the first out. 4 up, 4 down for Angel Hernandez. And again, the only blemish for Angel was that balk call with the bases loaded, with which scored the 4th run. So 2 up, 2 down in the second. Ryan Ignoffo will bat. And after the Cubs gave up 4 in the first, a 1-2-3 inning is exactly what they could use. Hernandez misses the outside corner with the ball. In the top of the third, the Cubs will have Avitia, Hernandez, and Garriola scheduled to hit. And the 1-0 is pulled up the left field line, hooking foul. It bangs off the sidewall. That was nearly trouble as Ignoffo, if he snuck that in fair ground, that is extra bases, no problem. And Ignoffo, he singled and scored in the first. He homered yesterday. Great start to the season for the former 20th round pick. That is the final round of the MLB draft nowadays. Hernandez kicks and bounces one in the dirt for a ball. 2-1. The lefty back to it on the 2-1. Powered towards right, slicing towards the wall. Brennauer at the warning track, makes the catch. Ivan Brennauer had just enough room as Ignoffo went to the opposite field and nearly got it out of here. The wind, really nothing to speak of today. If the wind was blowing out, that would have been long gone. But instead, it's a deep fly out, and the Sky Carp go 1-2-3. Still, it's Beloit leading 4-0 after 2 innings of play on Sports Radio WSBT.
Hey fans, catch the excitement of minor league baseball with the Bally Sports Live app. Watch your favorite team or scout the top prospects. Every game live all season long. Strike 3! You're out! Plus, stream the Savannah Bananas and emerging fight sports to keep the action going. Best of all, it's totally free. No credit card required. Download the Bally Sports Live app today on your phone or connected device.
I got smart about mortgages. Now it's my house I go home to.
I got smart about credit cards. Now paper or plastic has a whole new meaning.
When it comes to your money, whatever you want to get smart about, you can find it at smartaboutmoney.org. Smartaboutmoney.org is a free online resource from the National Endowment for Financial Education. We're an independent nonprofit foundation dedicated to helping people just like you get sound information about money. Smartaboutmoney.org. It's the easy place to start when you want to get smart.
I can't believe he found them.
He seems sorry.
We very clearly told him not to look up there.
I'm honestly impressed that he was able to do it.
Right? What did he balance on that big chair?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he'll just know what his gifts are this year.
I really thought we had hidden them well.
If they can find their presents, they can find a gun.
911, what is your emergency?
Every day, 8 kids and teens are unintentionally killed or injured by loaded and unlocked guns. Learn how to make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and End Family Fire.
South Bend Cubs baseball is presented by Pegs, located in the heart of downtown South Bend on Michigan Street. You can eat your meals where the South Bend Cubs do and see their menu at pegsouthbend.com. David Avitia leads off the top of the third. The Cubs need base runners, and plenty of them, down 4-0. All 4 runs for the Sky Carps, scraped across in the bottom of the first inning, I should say. Avitia waits and takes a strike from Jake Brooks. This is the first at-bat of the season for David Avitia. Last year with South Bend, he played 30 games, mixed between multiple levels. The 1-1 pulled foul off of the Cubs barricade of their dugout. The dugouts here in Beloit have nearly a 5-6 foot tall barricade, so the players sit right behind that, unlike in South Bend where they'll sit over the barricade. So they're safe from any foul ball that bangs against that padding. The 1-2 slider just missed. Avitia played a game last year, at least one game, for Myrtle Beach, South Bend, and Tennessee. But most of his work came with the South Bend Cubs. And here's the windup in the 2-2. Bouncing ball right side. To his left is the second baseman, Bashir, spinning and throwing, bouncing a ball to first base and getting Avitia in time. An unorthodox throw by Jay Bashirs. He had to glove it running towards the right field foul line. Then he did a spinorama and bounced to throw to Brock Vredenberg to retire David Avitia. And now it's Christian Hernandez. Christian struck out looking his first time. That was to lead off the game. Jake Brooks to Christian Hernandez. First pitch is foul tipped at the dish. Christian 4 for 10 to start his season. As mentioned earlier, one of just 4 players coming into today in the Midwest League with at least 4 base hits. Jake Brooks has looked sharp in his 2025 debut. Tall, long-legged right-hander with the line in the 0-1. Hernandez pokes it foul out of play. Again, the home opener for the South Bend Cubs comes your way Tuesday night at 7:05. We'll be on the air here on these airwaves at 6:45 with the pregame. Tyler Reedy will have that pregame show for you. And the first pitch, again, at 7:05. The 0-2. Fouled away once more by Hernandez. Bright, sunny, blue sky day here in Beloit. Warmest day of the weekend for sure. Hanging right around 50 degrees, but comfortable enough thanks to that sunshine. No lights needed here today, that's for sure. The 0-2 is a hanging sweeper that's spoiled foul by Hernandez. Christian checking to make sure his bat did not break on that swing. He was jammed a little bit with that inside slider, and he was able to fight it off foul. Starting pitching this week for Beloit has been fabulous. The 0-2 is a chopper over the mound, now up the middle to his left, ranging the shortstop, Lara. Throws just wide of the first base bag, but hanging on with the right big toe is Brock Bradenberg to retire Hernandez. 6-3 on the putout. Yeah, I mean, you got to tip your cap to Beloit starters. Thomas White, the opening day starter, he is the number one prospect in the Miami Marlins organization. 4 scoreless innings with 7 strikeouts on opening day. Brian Mendoza threw 3 scoreless yesterday in his first start. And Jake Brooks is following the par here. Andy Garriola looks at one outside. Garriola to start his season 0 for his first 6. The 1-0. Dribbled foul to the left. Andy did not play on opening day. But once his bat gets going and the rest of the lineup, surely the South Bend Cubs are going to be just fine. This is a talented lineup. Here's the 1-1. And it's driven towards center. Marion Boyd barely has to move a muscle. Now comes in a few steps to make the snag in center. And the Cubs go 1-2-3 for a second time against Brooks. It remains 4-0 Beloit. We are in the 3rd inning. And you're listening to South Bend Cubs baseball on Sports Radio WSBT.
Cub fans, it takes a team of the most dedicated, talented individuals to win a championship. And it also takes a similar team to get you fully recovered from your health challenges and on your way home. Briarcliff is South Bend's newest community. From long-term care to short-term rehab to complex clinical support, Briarcliff has all the bases covered. Take a tour of their all-private suite facility or visit BriarcliffSouthBend.com. Let Briarcliff make your recovery a home run.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, talk, touch their hair. Details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones we carry with us every day. Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breast can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
Over-the-counter pain medications can be bought without a prescription and are intended to reduce fever and temporarily relieve minor aches and pains. There are 2 main types of over-the-counter pain medicines, acetaminophen and NSAIDs. Although both types of pain medications treat the same symptoms, they work in different ways and have different risks and benefits. That's why it's important to always read and follow the drug facts label on your medicine. If you have any questions, ask your healthcare professional or pharmacist.
South Bend Cubs baseball here on WSBT Radio. I'm Brendan King here from Beloit. Brian Van Scoyt, BBS, our studio producer. The Cubs behind 4-0 at the hands of the Sky Carp. Angel Hernandez pitching in his second fresh inning here. Hernandez came on with 1 out in the first. The starter, Luis Rajano, made it through just a third of an inning if you're just joining us. Rajano needed to throw 31 pitches just to record 1 out. And typically the 30-pitch mark is the limit for anybody. Here's a bouncing ball, slowly hit third base side. Hernandez off the mound, fields, throws, gets him. Angel Hernandez on a swinging bunt had to sprint off of the mound, do a little spinorama on the third base side of the infield, and get it over to Drew Bowser covering the bag. That is not an easy play for a pitcher to make. Especially Hernandez, the lefty, he had to get to the ball and then turn to his right shoulder to throw. So that took an extra millisecond away from Hernandez being able to make that play, but he did. That's the first out of the bottom of the third, and now Yidi Cape takes outside. Again, Luis Rajano, 31 pitches in the first inning to record 1 out. If a guy typically at this level, as Cape fouls it away, throws 30 pitches in an inning, that's going to be it for them on the day, especially early in the year. So it's been Hernandez since. Here's the 1-1. Here's a line drive hit towards right. Ballpark will contain it as it slices towards the foul line. Ivan Brennauer has got a read on it, and he makes the one-hand catch to retire Cape. Now it's Gage Miller. Miller was one of 6 Sky Carp to reach base back in the first. Lefty against righty. First pitch to him. As a ground ball, right side, smack straight towards Bowser. An underhand flip to the pitcher, Hernandez covering. It will be in time. That'll go 3-1 on the putout. Angel Hernandez, although giving up that singular run on the balk call, he has retired every Sky Carp batter that has come up. 8 in a row sent down by Hernandez. And we're going to go to the middle innings next, to the fourth. 4-0 game. Beloit leading on Sports Radio WSBT.
Thinking about replacing your windows or doors but don't know where to start? Pella South Bend is here to help you from conception to completion. Pella has been serving homeowners for 100 years by providing the highest quality products and attention to detail, all backed by the industry's best warranty. For the month of April, receive 0% financing for 5 years or 55% off qualifying installations. Come see us at our showroom on Grape Road. Give us a call at 574-243-9014 or visit PellaSouthBend.com. Celebrate a century of exceptional craftsmanship with Pella.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, talk, touch their hair. Details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones we carry with us every day. Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breast can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
I got smart about mortgages. Now it's my house I go home to.
I got smart about credit cards. Now paper or plastic has a whole new meaning.
When it comes to your money, whatever you want to get smart about, you can find it at smartaboutmoney.org. Smartaboutmoney.org is a free online resource from the National Endowment for Financial Education. We're an independent nonprofit foundation dedicated to helping people just like you get sound information about money. Smartaboutmoney.org. It's the easy place to start when you want to get smart.
Let's see if the South Bend Cubs can make a dent into this deficit. It's 4-0 Beloit heading to the fourth inning. Sky Carp getting all their runs in the first. Since then, no scoring by either side. Ariel Armas up first against the right-hander Jake Brooks. Armas, Alvarez, and Bowser will hit for the Cubs against Brooks, who has really not surrendered much in his 2025 debut. 0-1 to Ariel Armas is swung through and missed. Ari grounded out to third his first time. South Bend did have a chance in the second. They put men at first and third, but with 2 outs, and then Brooks was able to work out of that jam. But this is the heart of the order coming up right now for South Bend. Jake Brooks, though, cruising, at least so far. He has struck out 4 Cubs. And on the 0-2, Armas will watch it go by in the dirt. 1-2 on Ariel Armas. We'll continue to keep you posted on South Bend International Airport's out-of-town scoreboard update. And from Wrigley, it is a high-scoring first inning there as well. The 1-2 pulled sharply foul to the left. The Padres and the Cubs combined for 7 runs in the first inning. The Padres got 3 runs off of Ben Brown. One and two, and the pitch. Low again on a slider, 2-2. It looks like the Padres had the bases loaded, and they got 3 runs, first by a hit by pitch with the bags juiced, then an infield single, and then a walk. The 2-2 pitch just missed. Not sure where. The catcher, Ryan Ignalpo, was getting ready to throw the ball around the horn. But instead, it's going to be a 3-2 count on Ariel Armas. Cubs are fortunate there. That was not called a strike. It was knee high over the heart of the plate. The payoff, Armas jams it foul to the left to stay alive. So the Cubs were down 3-0. And again, Chicago looking for a sweep today over San Diego. The Cubs, in their half of the first inning, got a base hit from Ariel Armas. Has just been called for a pitch clock violation, and with 2 strikes, it's going to be an automatic strike 3 call. Armas was not in the box by the allotted time, which is allowed. You need to be in the batter's box ready by 9 seconds on that pitch clock. And the home plate umpire, Jared Neal, called a pitch clock violation. Armas is called out on strikes. You don't see that all the time, but it does happen in today's game. Edgar Alvarez takes low. So we've always had this argument. How do you write that in your scorebook? Because if it's a swinging strike, you write a forwards K. If it's a called strike 3, you write a backwards K. Edgar Alvarez hits a 1 bouncer out to short. Lara gloves it. Strong throw to first beats Alvarez. That'll go 6-3. So we've had this discussion before. You know, Max Tome and I talked about it a lot over the last couple of years. What do you write in your scorebook? I think what we kind of came down to is you write a sideways K. So like the K is on its left side, if that makes sense. Anyways, here's Drew Bowser taking Hine inside. By the way, the Cubs at Wrigley, they just pushed across another run. It's now 5-3 Chicago, a 5-run first inning for Chicago after being behind 3-0. The 1-0. Low and outside. Let's see, Kyle Tucker started that rally with a base hit single and an RBI. Justin Turner brought in the second run on a sacrifice fly. Then the game was tied on a Nico Horner double, followed by, just like we had in the first inning earlier today, Bowser jams it foul, a balk call. The Cubs took the lead on a balk call. Oh, my goodness. The Cubs got their 4th and 5th runs on balk calls. That's remarkable. Let's see here. The 2-1 is a broken bat, little flare, hit to first, should be playable, picked up by Vredenberg. He will take it to the bag himself for a 3 unassisted, and the inning is over. Cubs go 1-2-3 for a third time against Jake Brooks. We are in the 4th, and it's 4-0 Beloit here on Sports Radio WSBT.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
As humans, we ask ourselves all kinds of questions. But what if we were forced to ask ourselves a question every day that affected the outcome of the most basic things, the most important things in our lives? The question is, what is your sexual orientation or gender identity? And the answer is the difference between keeping your job or getting fired. The answer is the difference between staying in your home or getting evicted. The answer is the difference between receiving medical treatment or not. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against people based on their answer to this question. LGBT Americans have the right to say I do, but they don't have the same basic rights as everyone else. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
Well, you got to tip your cap to what Angel Hernandez is doing for the South Bend Cubs. South Bend fell behind 4-0 in the first inning. Luis Rojano, the Cubs starter, taken out of the game after just a third of an inning. He threw 31 pitches, exited due to pitch count. And Hernandez deals outside of Jay Bashir's ball 1. Bottom third of the order coming up for the Sky Carp. Bashir's, Reidenberg, and Boyd. Hernandez always works from the stretch, and his delivery is swung on and missed. So Angel Hernandez has seen 8 Sky Carp players come up. He has sent them all down. 3 of those are strikeouts. And again, the 4th run of the game did score on a balk call while Hernandez was on the mound. The next pitch is a strike on the inner half. Two and one on Jay Bashir's. Shearer's the right-handed hitter, digs back in. The pitch is inside. But we apparently are not the only balk calls called in the Cubs org today. The Cubs getting 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning at Wrigley against the Padres on 2 separate balk calls. Hernandez misses away, ball 3. 3-1 on Jay Bashir. And the delivery. Hooked foul up the left field line. It's gone full. We'll be due for a payoff. And it's outside for ball 4. Hernandez thought he had the called strike 3. Cubs dugout clarifying where that missed. And Jay Bashir, for the second time today, has drawn a walk. First base runner that Hernandez has surrendered. And here is Radenberg. This will be left on left, and Brock pops it up. Left side of the infield, looking up to the bright sunshine at third is Edgar Alvarez. He'll squeeze it one-handed with the sunglasses on. And there's the first down of the 4th. Beloit 4, South Bend nothing.
Not batting number for the Sky Card, number 3, Mario Boyd.
And that is going to be it for Angel Hernandez. Nick Lavello is out of the Cubs dugout. He will make a change. And again, you got to commend Angel, because he just threw 3 full innings. Came on to get the final 2 outs of the first. Struck out Brock Vredenberg and Marion Boyd with the bases loaded. He then worked a 1-2-3 second and third. He did just walk Jay Bashir, but he got Brock Vredenberg to pop out. Credit Angel Hernandez, because the Cubs are still in this game. It is 4-0 Beloit, but this could have been way further of a lead for Beloit, if not for the heroics of Hernandez getting the Cubs out of that first inning jam. We'll take a break for the pitching change. Marino Santi enters next. 4-0 Beloit on Sports Radio WSBT.
Okay, team, we gotta try something new. Something big. Something like the new Mega Millions. With automatic multipliers on every play. Non-jackpot prizes start at $10 and go up to $10 million. Coach, what about the game? This is the game. Now get out there and try for a win!
Every play is automatically more mega with the new Mega Millions from the Hoosier Lottery. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
Love it. Embrace it. Right now.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
I guess there's one big outcry, one controversy. North Carolina got in, West Virginia did not. Okay. If you're on the bubble, they're going to expand to 76, maybe next year. After that, I mean, really, do we have to shed any tears here?
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays at 9. Sports Radio WSBT. WSBT South Bend. WQIQ and W291DK. St. Joseph. Sports Radio WSBT.
Cubs will make a call to the bullpen, brought to you by Carpenters 413. Marino Santi enters, and the left-hander's first pitch to Marion Boyd is low and inside. Carpenters Local 413, much has changed over 120 years, but growth still rests on opening doors to all working carpenters. For more information, visit carpenterslocal413.com. This is the first appearance of the season for Marino Santi. And he deals inside again. It's 2-0. Here on Marion Boyd, the number 9 hitter for Beloit. There's a man at first. Angel Hernandez just exited. It's 4-0 Beloit as Boyd looks at a strike. 5-3 game at Wrigley, though. Cubs lead the Padres 8 combined runs between San Diego and Chicago in the first. Santi set from the stretch. And here comes the lefty's pitch. Inside. Marino Santi, who we saw last season at South Bend, 5'11", 170 pounds, 23 years old. Santi from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic and signed as a free agent with the Cubs back in 2020. He'll be tasked with eating some innings here. The 3-1 is a swinging tap foul bunt. To the left of the plate, it's 3-2. That ball barely moved to the left of Boyd. Cubs behind 4-0. South Bend has managed just one hit. That was Ivan Brennauer in the second inning. And for the Cubs, they have not been able to really get to Beloit starting pitching at all. We mentioned with Brian Mendoza pitching 3 scoreless yesterday. Thomas White with 4 scoreless on Friday. Santi just walked Boyd. And Boyd will take his base. 2 walks in the inning. The Sky Carp will have runners at first and second. And back to the top of the order here, it's Wilfredo Lara. Lara 1 for 2 today. He doubled and scored back in the first. That double started that big rally of the first inning for Beloit. As taking a strike is Lara. Wilfredo Lara lined the ball over the jumping mid of third baseman Edgar Alvarez. It wound up in the left field corner. And that was the start of 4 consecutive base runners to begin the first inning for Beloit. The 0-1 bounced in, knocked down off the chest protector of David Avitia. Good work by David to keep that in front of him and also keep Boyd and Bashirs where they are. Andy Garriola playing left field for the first time this season. Carter Trice in center, the right fielder Ivan Brennauer. Left on right as Santi ready to bring it on the 1-1. Fastball strike, 1-2. In the top of the 5th, the Cubs will have Morrell, Brennauer, and Trice to bat. It is 1-2 on Wilfredo Lara. Here's the next delivery. A swinging tap in front of the mound. Santi's got it, spinning and turning to throw to first in time to get Wilfredo Lara. Gonna go 1-3. But everybody else moves up 90 feet. Bashirs to third, Boyd to second. And here is the second at-bat of the day for Eric Radizak. Colby Shade got the start today in left field for Beloit. And then Radizak came in, we presume, due to injury. Lefty will take inside. Radizak pinch hit for Shade in the second inning and is now playing right field. But this is Radizak's second AB since coming into the game. Runners at second and third for Beloit. 2 down. The 1-0 from Santi. Over the heart of the plate for a strike. Hey, it's now 7-3 Chicago. The Cubs have scored 7 unanswered. Since the Padres took a 3-0 lead, the Cubs now lead 7-3. It's a 2-run homer for Kyle Tucker. Left on left, the 1-1. Ground ball towards the middle. Diving play by Morrell. The shortstop gets up, throws to first in time. What a dig by Drew Bowser at first base as well. Rafael Morrell just saved 2 runs. Morrell was playing towards the middle. He dove for the ball from left to right, was able to glove it, and he got up and fired to throw out Radizak. And an even better vacuum dig by Drew Bowser at first base to keep it inside the leather. Great play. That concludes the 4th inning. It keeps this game at 4-0. Keep that one in mind if the Cubs can mount a comeback today. We go to the 5th. 4-0 Beloit on Sports Radio WSBT.
Budweiser is proud to join forces with Folds of Honor, providing life-changing scholarships to the spouses and children of fallen or disabled U.S. service members and first responders. Locally, United Beverage Company of South Bend salutes the commitment to those who serve our community and country. Over the last 14 years, Anheuser-Busch and wholesale partners like United Beverage have donated over $28 million, which has contributed to Folds of Honor's delivery of 51,000 scholarships since the nonprofit's founding. To those who have served our country, thank you. This Bud's for you.
It is time for
Steve Covino. Yeah. Rich Davis. Perfect. This is Covino and Rich.
Had the Dodgers lost, would you have wore your Dodgers?
Oh, 100%. It's still opening day.
Even after an L, take the temperature of the room, meaning like if the Mets get eliminated in like game 6 against the Dodgers, I'm not wearing my Mets jersey that next day. It's run its course.
Covino and Rich. Weeknights at 7. Sports Radio WSBT.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
To the 5th inning we go. And funny how this works out sometimes. Rafael Morel just made a run-saving play and a diving effort to throw out Eric Radizak 6-3, and now he leads off the top of the 5th against Jake Brooks. Brooks works to Morel, and Rafael will tap it foul off of his body for strike 1. What a great play. Morel set up, playing back behind and to the left of the second base bag. The Cubs were shifted against Radizak, and it worked out well. Morel diving for the ball, getting up and throwing him out. Brooks misses high with a ball. 1-1. Beloit does lead it 4-0, but a little bit of energy now for the Cubs side. 1-1. Morel checks his swing. Did he go? No. They appealed to base umpire Austin Machak. He said no swing. The wind is again breezing in from center. Not too much, but picking up just a tad. The 2-1. Morel takes a slider strike. Rafael's got the bright red batting gloves on each hand, a long sleeve blue undershirt. Second straight day, the Cubs are sporting the new away traveling grays. And the 2-2 popped up foul out of play. The new tops have the gray torso with South Bend written across the front in cursive lettering. That's in blue with the same blue numbers on the back with a little bit of red trim. The difference from the old grays, the sleeves are cubby blue with the SB logo on the right sleeve. 2-2 now. Just missed. 3-2. That's along with the gray pants with blue batting helmets, belts, socks, and a pair of gray shoes on for Rafael Morel. Cubs are sporting red hats today. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And here's the deal. Morel chops the ball up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. So Rafael Morel saved a base hit up the middle in the last half inning. Now he rocks one right up the gut. It's a leadoff single for Rafael Morel. He has been on both times after grounding into a fielder's choice earlier. And that may be it for Jake Brooks. And it will be. Angel Espada, the Beloit manager, is out of the first base dugout. Jake Brooks is going to leave as the Cubs pick up their second base hit off of the starter. Brooks gets the handshake from the new Beloit manager, Espada, and he will depart. So South Bend is going to see the Beloit bullpen now, and we'll see if they can get on the board. It is 4-0 Sky Carp. South Bend, when we come back, will have a runner at first in Rafael Morel with nobody out in the top of the 5th inning. There is time left on the day, but the Cubs are going to need to get on the board here very soon to try and mount a comeback. We'll take a timeout for the pitching change and come back next on Sports Radio WSBT.
Okay, team, we gotta try something new. Something big. Something like the new Mega Millions. With automatic multipliers on every play. Non-jackpot prizes start at $10 and go up to 10 million.
Coach, what about the game?
This is the game. Now get out there and try for a win!
Every play is automatically more mega with the new Mega Millions from the Hoosier Lottery. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
You're listening to the Jim Rome Show.
The Dodgers' exorbitant spending is good for baseball. What? Are they not supposed to try? Are they not supposed to create a world-class organization? Are they not supposed to attempt to procure the best talent possible in a talent procurement business? Are they not supposed to reinvest the money they have earned legitimately in their product? In other words, what are we even talking about here?
Weekdays 3 to 5. Sports Radio WSBT. WSBT South Bend. WQIQ and W291DK. St. Joseph. Sports Radio WSBT.
And this afternoon, Beloit makes a call to their bullpen. 4-0 Sky Carp. But the Cubs, after a leadoff single to open the fifth inning, have Rafael Morel at first and Ivan Brennauer at the dish. Brennauer will look at a strike on the first pitch from Gabe Bierman, former Indiana Hoosier. Gabe Bierman, a native of Jeffersonville, Indiana. 7th round pick in 2021 of the Miami Marlins, former starter, now a full-time reliever. Slider low. Jeffersonville, Indiana, Gabe Bierman, his hometown and his former high school. They were state champions in high school basketball 4A this year. Jeffersonville with a huge upset victory over undefeated Fishers last weekend at Cambridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. There goes Morel from first. The pitch is inside to Brennauer. Throw to second, not nearly in time. Morel steals the base. That's his second of the weekend. And South Bend with a runner in scoring position. They do not have to get all 4 runs in this deficit right now. They can poke away. And it's 1-2. Actually make it 2-1 on Brennauer. And time called. Ryan Ignofo is going to trot out to the mound to chat with Gabe Bierman. We saw Bierman plenty over the last couple years when he was a full-time starter with Beloit. He's now 25 years old. Again, pitched his college ball with the Indiana Hoosiers in the Big Ten. Bierman started 19 games with Beloit in 2023 and had a good year that summer. ERA at 3.4. Here comes the pitch. It's a called strike, and it's 2-2. Last season, Bierman struggled with injuries, only pitched in 7 total games. 2 of them with Beloit. And again, working as a reliever, full-time. Here comes the 2-2. Brennauer spits on one low, a slider in the dirt. It's gone full on Ivan Brennauer. Cubs behind 4-0. Rafael Morel leads at second. The second baseman, Bashir, is close to the bag up the middle. Let's see if Brennauer can come through. And the payoff is low for ball 4. Here come the Cubs in the 5th inning. It's a single for Morel. Now a walk to Brennauer. A reminder, all Cubs walks are presented by Best One Tire and Auto Care. Zolman's and Montes are proud partners of Best One. You can visit bestonetire.com to find a location near you. Best One, where the best costs less. Now the batter will be Carter Trice, and Trice is just looking to move forward the base runners. Brennauer and Morel. Gabe Bierman to the plate. Bouncing ball to short, double play ball. Lara bobbles it. His only play is going to be to first. Cubs get a break. That's going to go 6-3. They do get the out of Trice, but that was a tailor-made twin-killing baseball in which the shortstop, Lara, bobbled it. And a little shocking, to be honest with you, that ball was hit right to Lara. There was nothing all too difficult about it. He just mishandled it in the leather. So that's really as good as a sacrifice bunt because it moves Brennauer to second and Morel to third. The batter will be David Avitia in the 9 spot. Here's the pitch to David, who takes outside. Cubs behind 4-0, but in striking range of getting on the board and back in this game. How big does that Rafael Morel diving stop last inning look now? He saved 2 runs on a diving effort to retire Eric Radizek. Pitch to David is swung on and missed. David Avitia, although he hit 121 with the Cubs last year in 30 games, he did close the season on quite the high note. He finished off last season on an 11-game on-base streak. Bierman a deep breath, and the right-hander's 1-1. Chased down and missed low by Avitia. 1-2. I remember we wrapped up last year at Fort Wayne for a 6-game series. Cam Smith hit his first and only homer with the South Bend Cubs that week. Of course, Cam is now on the MLB roster of the Houston Astros after he was traded in the Kyle Tucker deal. That deal benefiting both teams, no doubt. And the 1-2 from Bierman. Swing and a miss. They get Avitia. And the Cubs at risk again of leaving men in scoring position. Back on Friday on opening day, the Cubs went 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. Yesterday had similar struggles. They left men at second and third base in the first inning. But now Christian Hernandez, who has been the Cubs' best hitter early this season, will get a chance. And with 2 down, he's got to come through. 5th inning, Cubs behind 4-0 with runners at second and third. The pitch, outside, ball 1. Andy Garriola's on deck. First base is open. Christian Hernandez 0 for 2 so far today. Right-hander to right-hander. Bierman delivers. And Hernandez drives it in the air out towards left center. A long chase for both Boyd and Trimble. Boyd makes a diving effort and can't get to the baseball. It's extra bases for Hernandez, who's around second and heading towards third. The throw won't beat him. It's a triple for Christian Hernandez. 2-run score, and the Cubs cut the lead in half. It is the first triple on this young season. All Cubs triples brought to you by United Federal Credit Union. That was hit to the deepest part of the yard in left center where the wall kind of corners a little bit. You have to credit Amarian Boyd, who made a diving effort for that ball, but he came up short. And now Andy Garriola bats, and Andy bounces it foul. Christian Hernandez, a triple, has gotten the Cubs back in the game. This rally started with a Rafael Morel single. Ivan Brennauer also walked. Both of those men scored. And the 0-1 to Garriola. He pops it up to shallow left. The shortstop Lara is out on the green turf, shielding his face with his mitt. He will catch it, but the Cubs get 2 runs. Christian Hernandez triples in Rafael Morel and Ivan Brennauer. And it's a brand new game heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-run score, Marino Santi back to the mound next on Sports Radio WSBT.
60 years ago, the Palm Sunday tornadoes destroyed our area with 137 people dead. This Friday, WSBT 22 News takes a look back at that terrible day with a special newscast. We're talking with survivors and examining what has changed with weather forecasting and warning systems in the last 60 years. Watch the Palm Sunday Tornado Special Newscast Friday at 5:30 on WSBT 22 News.
Imagine being fired because of who you love. Imagine being denied medical treatment because of who you marry. Imagine being evicted because of who you are. Millions of Americans don't have to imagine this. They have to live it. Because in 31 states, it's legal to discriminate against LGBT people. Get the facts at beyondido.org. Brought to you by the Gill Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not on my watch, our military service members say, as they volunteer to serve, as they move out, stand firm, and take fire. So not on our watch, we say, to the severely ill or injured veterans who can't get the care they deserve to live full and independent lives, even when there's no government funding. or a nursing home seems like the only option, we won't leave one warrior behind. Not on our watch. Join us at findwwp.org.
Christian Hernandez with the triple has gotten the Cubs on the board. It's 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Marino Santi will start his first fresh inning here by facing Ryan Ignafo. And Ignafo takes low. It was a 4-0 game all the way to this point after Beloit scored all 4 runs in the first inning. Let's see if Marino Santi can keep this game right where it is as the left-hander pitches to Ignafo high. It is the heart of the order coming up for Beloit. Ignafo, Trimble, and Capet. And the 2-0. Bouncing ball right side should be routine for Christian Hernandez, who scoops it up and throws to first and gets Ignafo in time. Leadoff man is set down. Boy, how big was last inning defensively for the Cubs? A leadoff walk to Jay Bashirs and another walk to Marion Boyd. And that ground ball that was smacked up the middle by Eric Radizak. Rafael Morel made a diving effort, an even better vacuum dig at first by Drew Bowser. I'll tell you what, if that play is not made, as here's a ball scooted to short to a charging Morel, routine as he throws on to first. That'll go 6-3. If that play is not made, it's a 6-0 game. And who knows if the Cubs embark on that rally from last inning. That play gave the dugout a lot of juice. And 2 up, 2 down for the Cubs in the fifth. It's Yidi Cape coming up. Marino Santi against Yidi Cape. First pitch on the way. Fastball blazed in for a strike. Yidi Cape, the hero yesterday for Beloit. He had a walk-off hit in the 10th inning. And the 0-1. Ripped back to the screen. 0-2. Marino Santi in search of a 1-2-3 inning. Luis Rojano, the Cubs starter, made it through just a third of an inning. That due to pitch count. He needed 31 pitches to get 1 out. Angel Hernandez then got the Cubs out of a bases-loaded jam in the first. And here is the 0-2. Just missed, maybe a tad up and away. Again, Hernandez, the only run that he was guilty of was a balk call with the bags full. But besides that, Hernandez faced 9 Sky Carp hitters. He sent 8 of them down. 1-2. In the dirt for a ball. Santi then came in, and then Santi was able to finish off that 4th inning. He's gotten the first 2 outs of the 5th. And looking ahead to inning number 6 for the Cubs, they'll have their heart of the order due up. Armas, Alvarez, Bowser. After this 2-2 pitch to Yidi Cape. Caught strike 3. Outside corner got him. Cape did not like the call from Jared Neal. He made that very clear as he walked past him. But Marino Santi rings up Yidi Cape. And there's a strikeout, a backwards K to finish off the 5th inning. Let's see if the Cubs can continue this rally. They're down by a pair, 4-2 to the 6th inning on Sports Radio WSBT.
At United Federal Credit Union, we'd like to be the first to say welcome home with a mortgage loan made just for you. Whether you're looking for a construction or lot loan for your future dream home or a mortgage for a home you can move into right away, our expert advisors will help you find the way to your new front door. Get started today with our easy online application at unitedfcu.com/mortgage. United Federal Credit Union. We get you. Insured by NCUA. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 471962.
Our military service members volunteer to protect us in the most dangerous places around the world. They step up. And when they are severely ill or injured, returning to their families is only the beginning of their long road home. Beyond all the hospitals and doctors and surgeries they need just to survive, they also deserve whatever they need to truly live. all the in-home care and day-to-day help they need to live independently on their own terms. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs were established to provide these brave men and women whatever they need to continue their fight for independence at no cost for life. So many of them need us, and it's time for a grateful nation to step up. Find out how you can do your part at findwwp.org.
For the Cubs in a 4-2 game, Beloit leads it, and Armas takes outside. The Cubs picking up 2 runs in the 5th on a triple from Christian Hernandez. Both teams have 3 base hits. Neither club has made an error to this point. And the 1-0, Ari lays off a fastball up and in, ball 2. 3, 4, and 5 in the Cubs order, Armas, Alvarez, and Bowser. South Bend did leave Hernandez at third to finish last inning, but again, cutting the lead in half, getting the energy back on their side. And Armas swings and misses here, 2-1. South Bend trying to avoid the opening weekend sweep. Beloit has won the first 2. Scores of 7-0 on Friday and 5-4 in 10 innings yesterday. Armas looks at a slider strike from Gabe Bierman. Bierman had a long run in Indiana playing for the Hoosiers. Again, a 7th-round pick of Miami, so he was a pretty high draft pick. Started his career as a starter, now strictly a reliever after being injured last season. Armas chops the ball over to third, vacuumed up by Miller. Miller will throw to first, in the dirt, but dug out of the ground by Vredenberg. 5-3 put out to open the 6th inning.
It's our beer batter, Edgar Alvarez. He strikes out with a left foot anyway for 4 dollars. Let's get out, Black Nation.
1 away in the 6th. The batter is Edgar Alvarez. Edgar 0 for 6 to open his season. This will be a great time for his first knock. And he'll take ball 1 in the dirt from Bierman. The crazy scoring continues from Wrigley. Top of the 4th. It's a 7-5 game. The Cubs on top. The Cubs got to the 7th run thanks to a 2-run homer from Kyle Tucker, his first at Wrigley Field. The 1-0 from Bierman. Hold sharply foul past first base coach Daniel Wozinger at first.
Restoration above the rest.
Nick Lavello continues to coach third every day for South Bend. Anyway, Jackson Merrill, who we saw with the Fort Wayne Tin Caps just a year and a half ago, just homered 404 feet to dead center at Wrigley. 7-5 Cubs. There from Wrigley in the top of the 4th. The next to Alvarez is slowly bounced to second. Over to a charging Bashirs. He'll scoop it up and get it to Vredenberg. Back-to-back groundouts for the Cubs in this 6th inning. Now a 2-out rally chance is what the Cubs need. Drew Bowser will be the batter. Bowser reached on a drop third strike that was back in the 2nd inning. The starter for Beloit was very good for a 3rd consecutive day, and that was Jake Brooks this afternoon. Brooks cannot win the game, but he threw 4 innings of 1-run ball with no walks and 6 Ks. Bowser slices it foul up the right field line. On the Hernandez triple, Morrell scoring. That run was charged to Brooks because Morrell singled off of Brooks to begin that frame. And then Ivan Bretauer, who gave Bierman walked on his first batter. Of course, that run charged to Bierman. The 0-1. Chased down and missed on a changeup low by Bowser. 0-2. Beloit leads it 4-2 in the top half of the 6th inning. And it is Rafael Morrell on deck if we get that far. No balls, 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch from Bierman. Low and outside. Four runs, 3 hits, no errors for Beloit. 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors for the Cubs. It'll be Marino Santi pitching the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 strikes on Bowser. And the next delivery, tried that same slider low and outside, and once again, Bowser did not bite. Drew Bowser, like the guy standing right behind him, Ryan Ignoffo, both of those men were 20th round picks in 2023. Bowser out of Stanford, Ignoffo out of Eastern Illinois. And the 2-2 got him swinging that time as Bowser missed a changeup. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Gabe Bierman. And after 5.5 innings, it's the Sky Carp up 4-2. Beloit looking for the sweep here on a Sunday afternoon in Wisconsin. Marino Santi back out next on Sports Radio WSBT.
Dear Truckin' Awesome, does Toyota Tundra have heart-pounding horsepower? Truck yeah. Is Tacoma style for the wild and as rugged as it comes? Truck yeah. And the 4Runner, tough as nails, ready for any trail? Truck yeah it is. Find your Toyota truck at Toyota.com. Put adventure in gear and floor it. Toyota, let's go places.
I expect it to be a lot easier.
I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I didn't know what step to take next.
I was transitioning from the military. I was a vehicle gunner.
An avionics specialist.
I was an MP, military police.
My friends thought I could do anything.
I missed my unit, my family.
Playing with my daughter, I felt like a stranger.
I was overwhelmed.
I couldn't sleep.
I just wanted to be by myself.
I didn't have a clear sense of what to do next.
I was too proud. And then I thought, if I'm going through this, other veterans have gone through it too, right?
I started to open up.
And it made a huge difference.
So I reached out and I saw that I wasn't alone.
Because before I was able to take on my next mission, I had to take on just taking care of myself.
To find purpose.
Go to maketheconnection.net to learn how other veterans have overcome the challenges of transitioning out of the military.
The Cubs have got to continue holding Beloit right where they are. It's 4-2 as South Bend looking for the full comeback after being down 4-0 after an inning. The lone scoring since was the 2-run triple from Christian Hernandez in the 5th. Marino Santi worked a 1-2-3 5th inning, and I'll hope the same here in the 6th. First pitch low to Gage Miller. It is Miller, Bashirs, and Vradenberg due for the Sky Carp. There's a bouncing ball, slowly hit to the left side to a charging Morrell at short. He was able to glove it around his chin and then threw on the run after having a clean exchange to the bare hand. 6-3 on the putout. Cubs pitching has retired now 6 consecutive Sky Carp.
Number 23, Jay Bashirs.
Jay Bashirs, the batter. Bashirs takes one in the dirt that bounced into the mid of David Avitia. And David gets a brand new baseball from Jared Neal. Santi always works from the stretch. And here is the left-hander's pitch. Bashir swats it in the air to medium depth center field. Trice took a couple steps out. Now comes in and he can't catch it. He lost it in the sunshine. Oh boy. And then bounced behind Trice, and it's going to be 3 bases for Jay Bashirs. Trice lost it in the sun. He had the sunglasses on, and it bounced right in front of him. I'm guessing they're going to give that a triple because Trice did not touch it. Tough break. That was going to be an ordinary flyout, and now potentially the Sky Carp can expand their lead. They do give it a triple. Jay Bashirs, he has been on all 3 times. 2 walks and a triple now. Brock Vredenberg takes outside, and now for the Cubs, they'll have to bring the infield in against Vredenberg. Vredenberg 0 for 2 in the game. Bashirs leads in foul ground at third. Santi working with a man 90 feet away, and Vredenberg takes low. Well, 4-2 game. That was going to be the 7th man in a row sent down by Cubs pitching. But again, Trice lost it in the sun. And the 2-0 pitch is on the way. In the dirt, ball 3. Three and 0 on Brock Vredenberg. There's a big gap in the left side of the infield. Left on left, and the delivery. Taking all the way for a strike is the big lefty. Cubs bullpen is up and throwing once again as Santi comes back 3-1. Here's a dribbler to the right of the plate. It's going to be a fair ball picked up by Avitia. The throw to first is going to be in time, but a run will score. Good play by David Avitia. The Cubs catcher quickly out of the crouch on that swinging bunt, rolling up the first base line. That is going to be an RBI for Vredenberg, even though he hit that ball and it was just scuffling on the chalk up that first base foul line. It is 5-2, and Beloit gets a run back. That'll be Brock Vredenberg's first RBI of the year, and score that 2-3 with Bashir scoring. Tough break for the Cubs of how that run came across. And this is chopped to third on a broken bat ground ball from Boyd. Alvarez over to Bowser in time. That's the inning. But getting a key run back are the Sky Carp on the 2-3 ground down RBI from Brock Vredenberg. It's a 5-2 game heading to the 7th. The Cubs have 9 outs to work with the rest of the afternoon on Sports Radio WSBT.
Cub fans, it takes a team of the most dedicated, talented individuals to win a championship. And it also takes a similar team to get you fully recovered from your health challenges and on your way home. Briarcliff is South Bend's newest community. From long-term care to short-term rehab to complex clinical support, Briarcliff has all the bases covered. Take a tour of their all-private suite facility or visit BriarcliffSouthBend.com. Let Briarcliff make your recovery a home run.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members, of their families or their children, asking them to deploy, patrol, stay on watch, on point, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to bring them all the way home, to keep them secure, to have their backs for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs do whatever it takes to help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost, for life, so that they might stand at ease. Find out how you can help at findwwp.org.
Going to the 7th, new pitcher comes on for the Sky Carp. It'll be Jack Sellinger, a lefty. Sellinger, 6'3", 210 pounds, a 25-year-old from Las Vegas. Sellinger, the 3rd pitcher of the day for Beloit, the first lefty. And he'll take over for Gabe Bierman. Bierman gave up that 2-run triple to Christian Hernandez, but then he worked a 1-2-3 6th inning. However, Rafael Morel is leading off in a 5-2 deficit, and Morel started that rally for the Cubs back in the 5th. Let's see if he can do it again. Sellinger to the plate. Morel watches it go by outside. We saw Jack Sellinger pitch for Beloit last season. It is a very similar pitching staff to last year for the Sky Carp. Here comes the 2-0. Back to Way Morrell inside. 3-0. Sellinger played his college ball at UNLV. Last year, a very good one for the Southpaw. 32 games combined between Jupiter and Beloit, low A and high A, ERA at 2.7. The 3-0. High ball 4. He just walked him on 4 pitches. Rafael Morrell, let's see if he can start another rally here. He is aboard on a Best One walk. All Cubs walks are presented by Best One Tire and Auto Care. Zolman's and Montes are proud partners of Best One. You can visit bestonetire.com to find a location near you. Best One, where the best costs less. Morrell at first, now Ivan Brennauer. The righty will take low. It is a 5-2 game, even though on the scoreboard there was a typo. They just put up a 9-2 game. It is not to that deficit. 5-2. Now they just corrected it. Sellinger to Brennauer. High and away, ball 1. Actually, 2-0, I beg your pardon. The 2-0 to Brennauer. Inside 3-0. Sellinger has yet to throw a strike. Cubs will take base runners any way they can. 5-2 game, Cubs trail. Beloit did get 1 run back that the Cubs picked up. Sellinger missed it with a fastball inside. And he has thrown 8 consecutive balls to open this 7th inning. The Cubs taking back-to-back walks from Morrell and Brennauer. And remember, it was Morrell and Brennauer getting on base consecutively as well in the 5th inning. And that ultimately led to the Hernandez triple. Here's a mound visit coming from Ignolfo, the catcher at the mound, chatting with Sellinger. And Jack Sellinger with these command issues. And we can tell you, command issues were not an issue for this guy last year. 13 walks in 34 innings. So now, Sellinger will face Carter Trice at a 5-2 game. Carter will look at a strike, and there is the first strike delivery by Sellinger. Carter's looking for his first hit of the season. He is 0 for his first 8, but he has walked twice on the weekend. White batting gloves on each hand for the right-handed hitter. And the pitch is in there for a strike. Quickly, 2 strikes on Trice. He has watched 2 pretty good ones go straight by. Oh and 2. Brennauer leads at first. Morrell off of second. And the delivery. Trice pounds it foul. Up the left side. That's going into the river beside the stadium to the left side of us. It's been a bright, sunny day all afternoon. Nothing but blue sky. There's been no shade that has come in. It has been perfect. About 50 degrees, a little bit chilly, but manageable on April 6th, totally. Trice will take called strike 3. Outside corner, got him. Trice is 0 for 3. One away in the 7th, and here is David Avitia. Avitia trying to push forward Brennauer and Morrell, who are at first and second. The pitch to the Cubs catcher is swung on and missed. Christian Hernandez on deck. 5-2, the Cubs trail. Left on right, and the 0-1. Low and in, ball 1. We'll bus home today after this game. Off day tomorrow. Final preparations at Four Winds Field for the home opener on Tuesday night at 7:05. I know everybody's been hard at work all weekend. Pitch to Avitia pops in and out of the mitt of Ryan Ignolfo. Now, that looked like a pretty good pitch, but Ignolfo did not catch it cleanly, and it was called a ball. 2-1. Here's the kick and the 2-1 pitch from Sellinger. Right down the middle, it's a called strike, 2-2. The Cubs have watched some pretty quality pitches go by over the heart of the plate. If South Bend's going to get back in this game, they need to attack those pitches. And Sellinger steps off the rubber. Jack Sellinger's got a powder blue pair of cleats on. A little different than the blue of the jersey. It's more of a teal top for the Sky Cart. And the 2-2. Just missed low. Tried the fastball. It's 3-2. There's only one down, so not necessarily a head start for Brennauer and Morrell, but Rafael Morrell consistently has been timing up the motion of Sellinger. As he dances back and forth. Runner's not going, and Avitia strikes out swinging. Back-to-back Ks by Sellinger, getting Trice and Avitia. And once again, the same exact spot where we were in the fifth. 2 down for Christian Hernandez. Can Christian come through again? That triple from the fifth was his 5th hit of the season already. He had 3 hits last night. And here he comes, facing the lefty Sellinger. First pitch, right down the middle. Oddly enough, the Cubs are taking these fastballs down the chute. And it's a strike, 0-1. Here's Sellinger's next. Hernandez drives one in the air, back towards deep left field. Towards the wall is Trimble at the warning track, makes the catch. Christian Hernandez just missed his first homer of the year. He flies out to the warning track in left. Boy, he gave it a ride and nearly did it again. That would have tied the game. It's stretch time from Beloit. The Sky Carp leading it 5-2 on this Sunday afternoon in Wisconsin on Sports Radio WSBT.
Thinking about replacing your windows or doors but don't know where to start? Pella South Bend is here to help you from conception to completion. Pella has been serving homeowners for 100 years by providing the highest quality products and attention to detail, all backed by the industry's best warranty. For the month of April, receive 0% financing for 5 years or 55% off qualifying installations. Come see us at our showroom on Grape Road. Give us a call at 574-243-9014 or visit PellaSouthBend.com. Celebrate a century of exceptional craftsmanship with Pella.
If there was ever a time to live united, it is now. Now is the time to speak with one voice, to build up, not tear down. It's time to join hands and live united against the problems that keep our communities from thriving. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you? Volunteer or donate now at unitedway.org.
Has your child swallowed your medicine, your laundry detergent, your nail polish remover? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you inhaled paint thinner, glue, pesticides? Call the Poison Helpline. Have a question about a dose, a fume, something your kid just drank? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Christian Hernandez just missing what would have been a 3-run game-tying homer, flying out to the warning track in left. Tough pill to swallow for the Cubs there. After back-to-back walks to open that 7th inning, South Bend comes up with nothing. And the Cubs are at risk of dropping to 0-3 on the season. They'll have just 6 outs to play with after this bottom of the 7th inning. But the Cubs will also have a new pitcher as they'll make a call to the bullpen. Brought to you by Carpenters Local 413. Much has changed over 120 years, but growth still rests on opening doors to all working carpenters. For more information, visit carpenterslocal413.com. Kenji Perez, who deals a strike. It's 1-1 after an initial ball to Wilfredo Lara. This is the Cubs' debut for the hard-throwing right-hander Kenji Perez. 6'2", 170 pounds. As he bounces in a slider for a ball, it's 2-1. Perez from the Dominican Republic signed as a free agent with the Cubs in 2020. And this guy has got a wipeout slider, per the scouting report. Did struggle with command last season. at Myrtle Beach. The 2-1 is up and inside on another slider, and it's 3-1. Kenji, spelled Kenyi, so that Y-I pronounced as a hard G. But again, this guy has got unreal stuff. It's a matter of controlling it. And he just, hold on a minute. This was thrown behind Wilfredo Lara, and it hit his bat. It's a foul ball. Perez just threw a fastball behind the back of Wilfredo Lara, and it hit his bat. There was an obvious bat noise from our crowd mic. It hit the barrel of the bat. I'm not sure if I've ever seen it that way before. Lara is ripping off his batting gloves, and he's trying to take his base, but home plate umpire Jared Neal, I don't believe, ruled that a hit by pitch. I'm not sure what Wilfredo Lara is doing. He's throwing his bat away. He's saying he got hit on the right shoulder, and now the umpires are going to talk. So again, what happened, it was a fastball high and inside. It went behind the back of Wilfredo Lara, and it hit his bat. It hit his bat. So that should be a foul ball. Meanwhile, Lara is standing at the first base bag. He is making the call really himself. He ripped off his batting gloves and his elbow guard. Umpires are talking about it, and they are bringing Wilfredo Lara back to home plate. I'll tell you what, that was as good of a sell job as you're going to see from anybody. Lara pointing towards his back saying it hit him. But the problem is, if it hit him, it was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. It would have been a little painful. He was just standing around the batter's box, and there was no reaction. It obviously hit his bat, and now he's got to take the time to put on his elbow guard again and putting on his batting gloves. He's putting on the elbow guard. He ripped off every accessory he was wearing and threw it to the bat boy and walked up the first base line. As, again, probably the greatest sell job I've ever seen. However, he is being called back to the batter's box. It will be 3-2 after a foul ball, a fastball thrown behind Lara that hit the barrel of the bat. So now Kenji Perez sets for a 3-2, and here's the pitch. Fouled away. I'm not sure if I've ever seen it like that before. Three balls, 2 strikes. Lara in the game is 1 for 3 with a double. And Perez from the stretch. Fly ball towards left. Andy Garriola barely moves a muscle, makes the catch. Garriola truly did not step back or forward. He moved his body a little bit just to set himself in position to make that catch. But Andy, that is room service on a fly ball. And Wilfredo Lara is out number 1 of the bottom of the 7th. By the way, the Cubs are going to have 6 outs to work with, as alluded to. Andy Garriola, Ariel Armas, and Edgar Alvarez are due up. And ideally, it remains this score of 5-2. Kenji Perez misses high. As alluded to, Kenji Perez, the 23-year-old, really struggled last season with command at Low A Myrtle Beach as he misses outside to Eric Radizak. Perez pitched in 36 games, an ERA at 9.47, but fastball misses, 3-0. But in 38 innings, he struck out 71 batters. So the strikeout, wipeout stuff on this guy is extra super good. 3-0. And he walks Radizak. And as alluded to, that was the issue. Perez walked 60 batters in 38 innings, but he struck out 71. So we have seen this type of pitcher before in South Bend. The control needs to be worked on, but the stuff is excellent. And that's kind of where Kenji Perez is here. Cubs trail 5-2. Here's Ignalfo. Ignalfo will look at a slider strike, and that is the pitch to click for Kenji Perez. It's that Wipeout slider with all kinds of horizontal movement. And heck, hey, a guy strikes out 71 batters in 38 innings. That is an eye-popper. Turnaround throw back to first. Back diving safe is Radizak, who just took the walk. Cubs trying to avoid a sweep here in Beloit. We're just past the 2-hour mark of this one. Playing in the bottom of the 7th. Perez sets at the belt. And he fires. That stays low on a heater. 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Kenji Perez. Runner on the move, pitches low and outside. Avitia's throw, not in time. Christian Hernandez covering the base as Radizak steals the bag. Eric Radizak swiped 7 bases last year when he was at Low A Jupiter. He's got his first here this season. And the stolen base numbers continue to just pile drive for Beloit. That's their 3rd stolen base of the day. They've stolen 13 bases in the series. It's 2-1 on Ryan Ignolfo. And another insurance run is in scoring position for Beloit. Perez sets, checks, and deals. Outside. 3-1. Perez again readies. And the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on a nasty slider low. It's gone full on Ryan Ignolfo, 1 for 3 in the game. Ignolfo part of that 4-run rally in the first inning. Time called before the next pitch. Beloit scored 4 runs in the first. The first 4 batters of the inning were all aboard. 3 base hits, 3 walks. The starter, Luis Rajano, made it through just a third of an inning, 31 pitches to record 1 out. And the 2-2. Called strike 3 on a slider, middle of the plate. Kenji Perez picks up his first strikeout as a South Bend Cub. It's a backwards K for keeping score at home. And now Perez and out away from getting out of this frame clean. Fenwick Trimble, the cleanup man, 0 for 2 with a walk today. Man at second, Perez deals high. Perez, the 23-year-old righty. He works off the first base side of the slab. The check at second. Radizak leads the pitch. Slider in there for a strike. You get the feeling that with this guy, when the slider is on and at his best, he can develop into something nice for the Cubs in the future. But as the 1-1 drops low on a slider, 2-1, it's probably about developing a fastball that can go along with the slider, because Kenji Perez walking 60 batters in 38 innings last year probably tells you when the slider command is off, the fastball is not going to be able to be there as well. Here's a slider for a strike. 2-2. But I'll tell you, we have seen it before with these types of really power arms. Daniel Palencia, one of them over the years. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here comes Perez. Runner on the move towards third. Doesn't matter. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Perez strikes out 2 batters in his Midwest League debut. He gets Ignolfo and Trimble, and it keeps the game at 5-2. The Cubs need to rally. They've got 6 outs to work with. We head to the 8th on Sports Radio WSBT.
Pepsi Zero Sugar has a new, better flavor. A Zero Sugar Cola has never tasted this good. But we don't expect you to take our word for it, so we're putting it to the test. Starting with me. My mouth is watering already, so I think we can skip the drum roll and get right to the main event. Cue the fireworks. We have an official best Zero Sugar ever. It's delicious, it's refreshing, and it's so good you'll need to try it for yourself. Trust me. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero never tasted so good. That's what I like.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're going to be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WOW25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WOW25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WOW25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code WOW25.
Left-hander Jack Sellinger continues on the mound for Beloit. The Sky Carp needs 6 outs to convert a weekend sweep of the South Bend Cubs, and Andy Garriola takes high for ball 1. Garriola, Armas, and Alvarez will hit for the Cubs against Sellinger. Second inning for Sellinger today as Garriola looks at a strike. Now, Sellinger started his 7th inning a little shaky. He walked Morel and Brennauer back-to-back to open the last inning, but then retired the next 3, 2 on strikeouts. 0-1. Outside. The Cubs are down by 3. They've had it as close as 2 after a 4-run first inning by Beloit. And if there's one thing the Cubs have never led all weekend, they've yet to hold a lead on this young season. The 1-1. Right down the middle, called a strike. And again, I don't know if this is an abnormal thing. It feels like it, at least here from the booth. The Cubs are watching a lot of middle-of-the-zone fastballs go by. These are pitches they should be attacking. So maybe an adjustment for next week. A ball and 2 strikes on Garriola. And the pitch. Did this hit him? Yeah, it did. It hit Garriola around his blue and red shoe tops. Not much of a reaction from Andy. It was a slow breaking ball in the dirt. But the leadoff man is on for a second consecutive inning. And let's see if this time the Cubs can do some damage with it. They're going to have to. Ariel Armas, the batter. Armas against Sellinger. Can the Cubs mount a comeback? Armas will take low. Andy Garriola, his first time on the base pass, by the way, this season. It comes via a hit by pitch. The next pitch, waved at and missed by Ariel Armas. Here in the 8th, we'll get you a scoreboard update. That's from South Bend International Airport as they present our scoreboard check. What a weird game it's been from Wrigley today. Cubs and the Padres. Here's a wild pitch in the dirt. Garriola will take second and make the turn there up the middle and stop. Wild pitch. So that takes away any chance at a double play. From Wrigley today, the Padres took a 3-0 lead after a half inning. They got 3 runs in the first, did San Diego. And then the Cubs rallied back with 5 of their own in their half of the first inning. 2 of those on separate balk calls. There were back-to-back balk calls that led to a pair of runs in that first inning. Here's the pitch to Armas outside. Then Kyle Tucker launched a home run, his first at Wrigley Field in the second. That propelled the Cubs to a 7-3 advantage. However, San Diego is mounting their own comeback. 2-2. Called strike 3. Armas goes down looking.
Is Edgar Alvarez, a beer batter of the game.
And here comes Edgar Alvarez. Like Garriola, Alvarez trying to reach base for the first time today, and also the first time on the season. This is left on left. Selinger and Alvarez do battle. First pitch in there for a strike. As mentioned, though, the Padres picked up a 2-run homer from Jackson Merrill that made it 7-5. And just now, Luis Arraez with an RBI single, making it 7-6 in the 6th inning. 0-1. Below the knees for a ball. So there's your look at the Cubs, 7-6. The Chicago looking for a sweep over San Diego. Couple finals to report in the Midwest League here today. The 1-1 fouled away by Alvarez. Final, Lansing avoids a sweep in Fort Wayne. The Lugnuts defeat the Tin Caps 5-3. Also, Lake County blew the doors off of Great Lakes today, 13-2. Lake County takes that series 2-1. And then multiple games in action right now. 1-2 on Edgar Alvarez with 1 out in the 8th. The pitch up high on a breaking ball, 2-2. Peoria is 0-2 to start the season, and the Chiefs are trailing Quad Cities 2-0 in the 5th. Wisconsin, who is winless in the 7th, on top of Cedar Rapids 6-5. The 2-2. Alvarez slices a looper up the left field line. That's going to go foul. And lastly, Dayton, who is also winless. Bottom 8, Dragon 6, West Michigan 6. And I know the Whitecaps lineup certainly bolstered right now with Max Clark playing for West Michigan, the former number 3 overall pick out of Franklin, Indiana. And we will be in West Michigan 2 weeks from now. So we may see Max Clark depending on what happens as Alvarez fouls it away and spoils one more. We missed Max Clark last season when West Michigan came to South Bend. Clark was not in town yet. He ended last season with the Whitecaps. But now he is back and causing a stir in the Midwest League. 2-2 again. Alvarez spoils one more. Good battle here. 5-2, Cubs trail 8th inning. Garriola's at 2nd. South Bend has never led on the weekend. Just looking to get it tied. Christian Hernandez flew out to the warning track in left last inning. That would have tied the game. 2-2 again. Alvarez fouls it away. Alvarez right on Selinger here as the lefties do battle. So, yeah, we may see Max Clark in a couple weeks. Peoria comes to town on Tuesday. It'll be the return of Angel Gonzalez, by the way. The next pitch to Alvarez backs him away inside, ball 3. Angel Gonzalez was picked up in the offseason by the St. Louis Cardinals in the Rule 5 draft, and Angel now pitching with Peoria, so he'll be back in town. South Bend Cub at 23-24. It's gone full on Alvarez, and the 3-2 from Selinger. Fouled away. This is a long duel right here. This will be pitch number 11 of the sequence coming up. Cubs organization scores. We told you about that suspended game in which the Iowa Cubs lost to the Indianapolis Indians, the completion of it. Here's another payoff to Alvarez. Ball 4 high. Alvarez takes a walk. Great AB. Maybe one of the better ones we've seen Edgar take in his young career. After Alvarez played last season with the South Bend Cubs in 27 games. That was impressive. And that's also going to knock Selinger out of the game. An 11-pitch at-bat. Angel Espada, the manager for Beloit, is going to come get his lefty. And the Sky Carp are going to make a change. Well, here is the chance for the South Bend Cubs. Edgar Alvarez just walked on Cubs Walks, brought to you by Best One Tire and Auto Care. Garriola is still at 2nd after he was hit by a pitch and went to 2nd on a wild pitch. It'll be Drew Bowser coming up next. We're in the 8th. It's 5-2 Beloit. The Cubs will have the tying run at the dish next against the new Beloit Arm on Sports Radio WSBT.
Okay, team, we gotta try something new, something big, something like the new Mega Millions. With automatic multipliers on every play, non-jackpot prizes start at $10 and go up to 10 million.
Coach, what about the game?
This is the game. Now get out there and try for a win!
Every play is automatically more mega with the new Mega Millions from the Hoosier Lottery. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
This is The Herd.
Wow, 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 wow.
With Colin Cowherd.
Man, is there anybody in sports right now that meets the moment like Shohei? It is very messy. And MJ and Tiger in his prime, Steph and LeBron. Dude meets the moment. And never forget this. You get no ego with Ohtani. I don't know who's stopping this freight train.
This is The Herd. Weekdays at noon. Sports Radio WSBT. WSBT South Bend. WQIQ and W291DK St. Joseph. Sports Radio WSBT.
A call to the bullpen for the Beloit Sky Carp, and here is the chance for the South Bend Cubs. With one away in the top of the eighth, the tying run will be at the plate, and Drew Bowser, the new pitcher for Beloit, right-hander Jesse Bergen. Bergen, the right-hander, to Bowser. First pitch inside. Jesse Bergen, just like today's starter, Jake Brooks, was an 11th round pick of the Marlins out of UCLA. The only difference, Bergen drafted in 2021, Brooks selected in 2023, and the 1-0 from Bergen is high on a fastball. South Bend has the tying run at the plate. It's 5-2 Beloit. Edgar Alvarez at first base after a great 11-pitch battle against Jack Sellinger. It ended with a walk. Andy Garriola was hit by a pitch to begin this inning. Tying run at the dish. 2-0 start on Bowser, 1 out. The next pitch is a fastball outside, 3-0. Does Drew Bowser have the green light? 3-0 with 1 down in the tying run he represents. He just looked at Nick Lavello and he got his answer one way or another. We'll see. The pitch by Bergen. Bowser swinging and tapping it foul. He got a pitch that he liked. He had the green light, 3-0. And he fouled it away, 3-1. We saw Jesse Bergen pitch on opening day on Friday. He closed that game for the Sky Car. He's set for the 3-1. And here comes the right-hander. Slider low, ball 4. Back-to-back walks from 2 different pitchers, Sellinger and now Bergen. The bases are going to be loaded for Rafael Morel. The tying run is at first. The go-ahead run is at the plate. And if you remember, Rafael Morel made a spectacular diving play to keep this game at 4-0 back in the 4th inning. Morel stands in against Bergen. Here's the pitch, driven in the air, back towards deep left field. Towards the wall is Trimble. He's at the fence. He makes the catch. He makes the catch at the wall. Tagging from third and coming home is Garriola. Morel just missed what would have been a go-ahead grand slam. But Trimble made the grab at the wall. The Cubs do get a run. It's 5-3. And that's the second out of the 8th inning. Goodness, if the wind was blowing out just a smidge, that ball is gone. And the Cubs would have taken the lead on the slam. But inning still alive. Back to first went Bowser. Up to third went Alvarez. Garriola scored, and here's Ivan Bredauer. Bredauer lays off a slider low. Boy, can't emphasize enough. Christian Hernandez flew out to the warning track in left in the 7th to end that inning. That would have tied the game on a homer. Morel, this would have given them the lead. 5-3. The 1-0 to Bredauer is shot the other way towards right field. A sinking line drive. It's a base hit falling in front of Radizak. Alvarez scores. And moving up to third is Bowser. RBI single, Ivan Brennauer, and it's a one-run game. 5-4 as the Cubs mounting their comeback in the eighth.
Number 9, Carter Trice.
So the RBI sac fly for Morel. That was Raphael's first RBI of the season. Brennauer, after going 0 for 8 in the first 2 games this weekend, he has been on all 4 times, 2 singles, 2 walks, and the tying runs at third. Carter Trice swings and misses. Tying run 90 feet away. Carter Trice is due. He's 0 for 3, and on the season is 0 for 9. This would be a spectacular time for that first Midwest League hit. And the 0-1. Swing and a miss on a slider. It's 0-2. Trice calls time. Ivan Brennauer. How about that? On base 4 times today. He was 0 for 8 in 2 games, and now he's got 2 knocks today with 2 walks. 0-2 on Trice, and the delivery. In the dirt, Brennauer stealing second, and he'll be safe there. Ivan Brennauer into second base safely. So give Brennauer the stolen base. That's his first of the year. Drew Bowser's at third. Garriola and Alvarez have scored. And it's 1-2 on Carter Trice. Jesse Bergen with runners at second and third. Time called by catcher Ryan Ignoffo. Ignoffo will go to the mound just to make sure that him and Bergen are on the same page. And it was Jesse Bergen. He breezed through 2 innings. Back on opening day, pitched a 1, 2, 3, 8th, and 9th. Today, not as easy. He did inherit a tough situation. Came in with 2 runners on, but he walked Bowser, gave up the sac fly to Morel, and now the single to Brennauer, and the 1-2 to Trice. Called strike 3 on a fastball. Trice watched it go by, and the Cubs leave the tying run at third and the go-ahead run at second. However, they get back in the game, and it's 5-4 heading to the bottom of the 8th. South Bend has got to hold them. We'll come back next on Sports Radio WSBT.
Budweiser is proud to join forces with Folds of Honor, providing life-changing scholarships to the spouses and children of fallen or disabled U.S. service members and first responders. Locally, United Beverage Company of South Bend salutes the commitment to those who serve our community and country. Over the last 14 years, Anheuser-Busch and wholesale partners like United Beverage have donated over $28 million, which has contributed to Folds of Honor's delivery of 51,000 scholarships since the nonprofit's founding. To those who have served our country, thank you. This Bud's for you.
When you are living with chronic joint pain, nothing feels good, even sitting in a lounge chair as you try to enjoy the sunshine. And forget about golf, hiking, or playing tennis. Your goal right now is to just get by. Well, you need better goals. Hi, it's Darren Pritchett. I want you to know about Dr. Ashley Carabelli and the medical team at QC Kinetics. They're here in Michiana and focus on getting you the relief you need. They feature regenerative treatments that help calm the debilitating joint pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. You deserve to be pain-free. And at QC Kinetics, we achieve that goal without surgery, drugs, or any downtime. Live a healthier life free of harmful medications. That's the whole mission of QC Kinetics. Your body deserves for you to get a free consultation from QC Kinetics right now. We have locations in Elkhart and Mishawaka, plus there are appointments available on Saturday to work around your schedule. Now is the time to get started. Enjoy life without chronic joint pain. 5747-NO-PAIN. That's 5747-NO-PAIN. 5747-NO-PAIN. QC Kinetics.
This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Carpenters Local 413. Much has changed over 120 years, but growth still rests on opening doors to all working carpenters. For more information, visit carpenterslocal413.com. It's right-hander Sam Thorson in his 2025 debut. The hard thrower, Thorson, has been a part of the South Bend Cubs roster a couple times, 2023 and 24. Edie Cappe up first, and Thorson spins in a slider for a strike. Sam's job to keep this right where it is. It's a 5-4 game. The Cubs are within a run. South Bend left the tying run at third and the go-ahead run at second in the last half inning. Back-to-back sliders from Thorson. Paint 2 strikes on Cape. Boy, can't describe it enough. Rafael Morel, if the wind was blowing out today, Morel would have had a grand slam. That drive to left, which resulted in a sacrifice fly RBI. It would have been a slam over the wall, and the Cubs would have had the lead. But not in April. Cape pokes the bat out, chops it to third. Fair ball, scooped up by Alvarez. Throw to first. The dig by Bowser. In time. Good plays on both sides of the diamond. Alvarez had to throw on the run as he ran into foul territory, letting that go. And then he bounced it in the first where Drew Bowser vacuumed it up. Bowser has been very impressive at first base today. And Sam Thorson with the tip of the cap to both of his corner infielders. That's the first out of the 8th. Cubs are behind 5-4. Sam Thorson now against Gage Miller. Thorson deals low and away. Sam now primarily throwing 3 pitches in his arsenal. He's got the 4-seam fastball to go along with that wipeout slider, and he also throws a sinker. 1-0 is a fastball, a strike call, not caught cleanly by David Avitia. The ball went to the backstop. However, it was still called a strike. Looking ahead to the top of the 9th, the Cubs will have 9, 1, and 2 due up. Avitia, Hernandez, Garriola. Here's the 1-1. Up and inside. 2-1. And also, just looking at guys available off the bench for South Bend, in case a pinch hit spot came up, there are some names. 2-1. Slider outside, 3-1. Rayvaj Garcia's available. Brian Calmer's available. Reggie Preciado. And Miguel Pabon. That's the available bench right now for South Bend. And there are some guys stretching in that third base side dugout. An automatic strike has just been put on Gage Miller. He was not set in the box by the 9-second allotted mark. So it's 3-2. So that's a free strike for Sam Thorson, and he can now put away Gage Miller with one more strike. 5-4, the Beloit Sky Carp are in front, trying to sweep the Cubs. The 3-2, outside, he walked him. Gage Miller draws his second base on balls today. And Thorson will face Jay Bashirs. Jay scored the 5th run of the game for Beloit, and it came in unfortunate circumstances. Bashirs on an ordinary fly ball to center. Carter Trice lost the ball in the sunshine. The ball was dropped, and it ended up being a triple for Bashirs. Thorson against Bashirs. Here we go. First pitch, a strike. So Bashirs ended up taking 3 bases. The next batter was Brock Vredenberg, and on a little bounce out to the right side of the infield, Vredenberg drove in Bashirs on an RBI groundout. That's how the 5th run came across. Swing and a miss on a slider low, 0-2. And again, the unfortunate part of it is that's currently the game-deciding tally. The 0-2 from Sam Thorson. It's on the way. Outside, he tried the slider again. 1-2. Sam Thorson was on the 2023 South Bend opening day roster, but he missed the better part of that year with shoulder surgery. And then that shoulder injury continued to keep him out through the back end of last year when he came back. 1-2. In the dirt for a ball. 2-2. Gage Miller's at first. Beloit would love to get some insurance. It's the Cubs' responsibility to make sure that does not happen. About 2.5 hours into today's game. Thorson sets at the belt. The big right-hander comes back 2-2. Called strike 3. Bashirs called out on strikes. It's a slider on the inner half. That froze him. And there's a strikeout for Thorson. First time today that Bashirs has been kept off the bases. He had walked and tripled. And let's see if Brock Vredenberg can be the final out of the 8th. Thorson goes against the tall lefty. There goes the runner from first. The pitch is a strike. Throw to second by Avitia is in time. David Avitia catches Gage Miller stealing. And Sam Thorson hangs a 0 and an important one here in the bottom of the 8th. Well, the Cubs have never led this weekend. They're behind 5-4. Can they get that tally and jump in front in the 9th? They're down to their final 3 outs next on Sports Radio WSBT.
60 years ago, the Palm Sunday tornadoes destroyed our area with 137 people dead. This Friday, WSBT 22 News takes a look back at that terrible day with a special newscast. We're talking with survivors and examining what has changed with weather forecasting and warning systems in the last 60 years. Watch the Palm Sunday Tornado special newscast Friday at 5:30 on WSBT 22 News.
When someone hears the words, "You have cancer," it's one of the darkest moments in their life. Light the Night brings light to the darkness of cancer by uniting survivors, patients, and supporters in the cause to end cancer. Friends, families, and coworkers form a community of hope, raising funds in support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Together, we walk with lanterns held high to light the path to cures. Last year alone, the FDA approved 18 new drug therapies and treatments to treat blood cancers. The impact of LLS-supported research goes beyond blood cancer. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. When we walk, cancer runs. Join the movement to end cancer today. Visit us at lightthenight.org.
Top of the 9th, Cubs down 5-3 at the hands of the Sky Carp. Beloit scored 4 first-inning runs. The Cubs have never led today. The Cubs have not led in the series. They've come so close. Christian Hernandez flew out to the warning track in left with 2 men on. That would have tied the game. Rafael Morel flew out to the warning track in left in the 8th. It would have been a grand slam for the lead. David Avitia leads off the 9th. And here we go. Jesse Bergen's first pitch of the inning is outside for ball 1. South Bend just needs 1 base runner to have a chance to take the lead with 1 swing. Both teams have 4 base hits. Beloit leads at 5-4. Bergen from the windup deals. Avitia takes ball 2. And again, there are many guys available on that bench. So if Avitia were to reach, I would imagine you'd see a pinch runner. Christian Hernandez on deck. Jesse Bergen into his motion. Breaking ball away, ball 3. It's a 3-0 start on David Avitia. David, making his season debut, is 0 for 3. But he's got a 3-0 count, and the pitch on the way. Ball 4. 4-pitch walk to the 9-hitter. Avitia takes the base on balls. It's another walk brought to you by Best One Tire and Auto Care. And just as expected, Avitia reaches. A pinch runner is on, and it is Reggie Preciado. David Avitia with some good work. He'll get plenty of high fives back in that dugout. And here's the exact spot you want to be in. Christian Hernandez is the batter. Christian got the Cubs on the board in the 5th inning. It was a 2-run triple that made it 4-2. He faces Bergen here, who deals. First pitch, a strike. Hernandez, again in the 7th, flew out to the warning track in left. It was with Rafael Morel and Ivan Bredauer on base. That would have tied the game at 5 if it went out of the park. The 0-1 to Hernandez coming. Nearly clipped him inside. Tying run aboard for the Cubs, down 5-4 at the hands of Beloit. New set of signs from Nick Lavello at third for Preciado, the pinch runner. Very short lead for Reggie. He's being held on by Vredenberg. And a check over. Preciado back diving in. Preciado's got a pair of bright red cleats on as he takes his lead again. Jesse Bergen, the tall right-hander, set from the stretch, who comes back 1-1. Swing and a miss by Hernandez at a ball in the dirt. That time, Christian was fooled on a slider in the dust. Andy Garriola on deck, and then Ariel Armis if we get that far. Bergen readies. He's got 2 strikes on Hernandez. And the pitch. A deflected ball. Was that a foul ball? Yes, it hit the knob of the bat of Hernandez. It was a fastball inside. It hit the bat of Hernandez, and then it deflected off of the catcher's mask, and Ryan Ignafo needs a second to recover. It wasn't a hit by pitch. Again, it hit the knob of the bat of Christian Hernandez, and that knob of the bat has some yellow tape wrapped around it. Now another 1-2. Bouncing ball towards short, could be a double play. Glove by Lara to second for 1 out. The relay back to first is in time. It's a double play. Double play. 6-4-3. And the